Hey there! Welcome to our Unwritten live stream. Once again, our second session of our campaign, Strange Seeds. I hope you enjoyed the last game, and I hope you're going to enjoy this one. Um, Once again, I am the game master, Veronica or V, developer of Unwritten, and we have our players here. Um, Q as Kennett. Um, Pharaoh as Mishaven, Alana as Tome, and Cap as Celia. I'm sure I mispronounced something in there, but you know that happens. So welcome. This time I'm gonna start with some announcements and some ministrivia, and then we'll get on to the game. Um, by the way, people in chat, if we've got audio issues, let us know in the chat. I'm watching it. All right, so I wanted to make sure that you get a couple things in here. Um, if you like what we're doing here, and you want to see more of things like this live stream or some of the things that we've released in other places or our podcast, um, then once you go to the our Patreon, you can support us at our Patreon. The address is at the bottom of the screen. Um, and we are working on all sorts of different things. Like I said, we have a podcast called Unwritten Voices. One of those is out, and more will be out soon. Um, we have this. We are also releasing small bits of content through the Patreon. Um, and soon, the first session will be of this game will be available on YouTube. So keep an eye for that out on our YouTube page. There's a link on Twitch there. Um, Also, if you don't have Unwritten yet, or you want to see what, or some of the supplements, go to the Cyan store, and you can find Unwritten there, as well as our supplements. That's all digital PDF. And if you want a print-on-demand copy of Unwritten, you can go to Drive-Through RPG, and you can find it on there. Also, if you've got an Oculus Quest and you haven't looked at Myst VR yet, you should. It's a great implementation of Myst, and go out there and take a look at it. Play it, stream it, that sort of thing. Leave comments. If you're not quite haven't gotten your quest yet, go out there and put it on your wish list. All of that helps Cyan, which helps us and helps the fans and everything like that. Ah, couple more comments. One, um, this is a bit of an apology from me. I used the term strange fruit in the previous podcast, and I've been informed that in some areas this is a euphemism for some unpleasant things. So I did not realize that, so I apologize. Um, and if I make any other slip-ups like that, please let me know. I want to do what I can to rectify it. Um, Also want to point out some things from some of our players here. If you look at Pharaoh Mashavan there, look at his background. That background was created by his wife, who goes by Koi Lantern online. She's an amazing artist, and so if you want to look up information about to see more of her art, look it up online. Um, Also, I wanted to congratulate Thomas, who our player of Laundress there, for a new addition to his family. He had a new baby just yesterday. Um, and uh, how you feeling about that?
Hey, John, I'm okay. Mom's tired, baby's tired. There's a lot of sleeping
Yep,
right now, but it's exciting. So he turned out very, very well. He's doing great, healthy, bouncing, likes to cry just like babies do. But
yep, sounds great. Well, congratulations. Uh,
yes,
you
thank
know, you
you.
know, thanks for bringing another future explorer into our midst.
Oh yes, yes. If he's
Um,
anything like his sister, she'll be all over it.
awesome. It's definitely a family thing. Trust me, my
Yes.
kids know more about Myst than I think any children in the world do. So, but um, so we ended the last game, and between each session in Unwritten, we have what's called a minor milestone. It's a chance for the players to kind of take a look around at their characters. There are a couple things that you can change in a minor milestone, move some skills around, maybe rename an aspect, that sort of thing. Most of our players are kind of good with their characters now, but there's been one or two changes here and there. Nothing particularly, major. A minor milestone is also a fate point refresh, so you can see everybody's fate points are back at 3. Okie doke. Um, so, um, we're gonna go for a recap of where we were when we left off, and Pharaoh had volunteered to give us that recap.
All right. So when Mashavan wakes up in the morning, he realizes why he doesn't like to leave the cavern. He looks around at the rocky cave that we all slept in, looks outside at the rocky, mountainous, almost wasteland, and wishes he could be back home. In spite of the potential exciting mystery of why there's a landslide caused by an explosion, he misses his lab. But since we're all here and we're supposed to explore this age, he's going to do his best at helping everyone figure it out.
Sounds
I
good.
love how he's resigned. Wakes up, he's like, it's not my lab. Oh well, I guess I have to stay here. I love him so much.
Okie doke. So, sounds like Mashavan's the first one to wake up. Um, you all wake up, bit by bit. What's the first thing you do, as you get up? What are you looking around at? That sort of thing.
What time is it?
Um, you don't know the exact time scale of this particular age,
Mhm.
but by looking at things, it looks like it's sort of, you know, mid morning.
Okay.
You know,
What about temperature and stuff? Is it comfortable? Is it chilly?
it is a little
For
bit,
a
it
dummy,
is a
I
little bit
realize
chilly.
that. Okay.
Um, but nothing that would require, like jackets or anything like that. Covers.
Okay.
Chillier than you're used to, but
So Celia stretches and kind of, the cat stretch where you stand up and you shake everything out and you kind of rub down any goosebumps. And she stretches up and sticks her head out and looks around and goes, well, daylight.
mhm.
And on that note, she just steps outside and just does a really quick look for any tracks, just like to make sure that no animal went wandering by or sniffing.
I'm not gonna make you roll for that. Yeah, there's nothing particularly of interest in that way. Nothing looks disturbed or anything like that.
So she comes back in and goes, looks quiet.
Good, then I'll make breakfast.
Ooh, breakfast.
Hot breakfast. None of this cold plate stuff.
Sounds wonderful.
Okay, what's Laundress doing?
Andres is so he gets up and very first thing he does is he grabs his book and he runs around to make sure nobody has fled or ran off or scrambled down a mountain or run to investigate some more murder rocks.
Did it bother
just
him
making
that
sure.
Celia
Yes,
stuck
yeah.
her head out and
He wasn't awake for that, so he doesn't know. But he's making sure
touching
everybody.
everyone on the head and
Yes.
counting like duck,
Yeah,
duck,
it's
goose.
exactly. It's you remember when you were in field trips, like when you were little, and the teacher was always like, do always counting.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, stop moving. Like that's kind of Landris this morning, just making sure we got. Is everybody? We got all five. We got all five. Yes,
Not too
we have
close to
all
the edge.
five.
Not too close to the edge.
Right. Yes.
We need
Duck,
cones.
duck, goose. Riku, something.
Yeah,
Do we know what another cute pet is? Maybe we'll discover one.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes.
I'm down with that.
So what's
Can I add
Toma
that
up
to
to?
my goals? Discover a cute pet.
Oh, there you
Crab.
go.
I'm adding that to my goals.
There you go. What's Toma up to?
I think Toma slept very deeply. She's used to sleeping in a like grungy basement for the past few weeks, so this was totally fine for her. So she's just coming out of like deep slumber and kind of trying to shake it off. And probably her morning routine involves a certain amount of like she's just like very she's an athletic explorer and just does a lot of kind of climbing, so she's probably waking herself up by just like kind of going up and down one of the nearby ridges a little bit just to shake off her morning sleep. This is probably going to lead to an
I
encounter
can
with
hear the
Landris
heart
where
attack from here.
Frying
This-
eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Frying
this probably stops as soon as Landris notices.
Yes.
Oh, hey. Okay, so
Yes.
you go. I mean, you definitely you do so your kind of morning routines and such. So what's the plan?
Well, I'm gonna pull out my checklist.
There you go.
It's like, so we found murder rocks. Nobody died at night.
Mhm.
It's
He's
true.
gonna try and like taste the edge. Okay, okay. When you go out camping and it's morning and there's that slight tinge to the air from like the dew and just the
Mhm.
life just generally existing. So he's gonna see if there's any kind of like different quality to the air this morning than there was last night when we went to bed, because now everybody's safe, everybody's where they're supposed to be. Now it's time to worry about if we're all going to die, because the maintainer suit only catches so much, right? It's only designed for short-term exposure, and
That's
we're
fair.
officially at long-term exposure window.
So are you going? I mean, are you doing anything specific, or is it just sort of a general like
um
sweep the
no,
area?
I it would just be sort of like a general, like the lick the finger, kind of figure out where the wind's coming from, taste it back again, see if there's any like nitrites or anything just floating on the breeze, and like is there anything funky? I obviously
smells
I'm not
funky.
a geologist, but
Smell like burning.
exactly. Like does it have those telltale you are about to die from poison characteristics, like if you eat a bitter berry,
Or the stinky smell that you get outside. I've heard that you get
Yes.
like when there's fire in the air, or volcanic eruptions,
Yeah,
or
that
weird
sulfury
natural
kind of
gassy
smell.
smells. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we taking samples? Sorry, there's
Yeah,
like
we're
we're
gonna at
supposed to
some
be
point.
looking at
I
stuff.
say- I
but
assume-
we've got all those different weird crystals in this cave, and now we can actually see them because it's light. Maybe we should just start in the cave.
Yeah,
Keep
I would
it
assume Mashavin and Celia would be, because that's like right up their alley.
That does seem like
Definitely.
a good idea.
Sounds good. Okay, so why
Concerned
don't
all of a sudden.
why don't we actually do another bit of another investigation bit, so everybody can
heck.
kind of roll their choose a skill what you're investigating with, roll, and we're gonna go against a 3 on this one. So there's a lot of information to be found. So
Okay.
Gotta find a place that's not going to be overly loud.
All right. I got mine.
Oh,
Mhm.
so that is a plus. I got a 4.
got a 4.
I got
so
a
you got a 5.
sorry, 5 with surveying.
5 with surveying.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
my 4 was with survival.
Okay, so you get 1 question with survival. Celia gets 2 questions with surveying. Alana?
I got a -2, and the most I could contribute would be like a +1 survival or surveying. So I don't think I'm finding very much.
Are there any aspects that you think you might be able to tag on? You may or may not have them.
Honestly, no, I don't think so. Not this time.
Okay. Well,
But that's
which
okay. I can put you to work.
All right, sounds good.
And if you come up with some way to, kind of change the situation so you could do more looking around, like some, major, some significant change, we'll give you a chance to roll again. But you don't have any questions right now. Mashavin,
So I used notice and at a +3 and rolled a +3, so I have a 6.
there you go. 3 questions.
Nice.
You also excelled, so you got 3 questions, and you have once again the option of a hint, which if you don't use, you get a free point. The scene.
I'll keep that in mind.
Okie doke. And Kenneth.
I rolled for my notice because that's the only thing that made sense. So it's a +1, but I got -1 at
Cool.
the end of the day.
If you have any aspects that you wanna tag to see if they'll help you out.
She's got like expert maker of rock soup. So I think that if something comes up where someone's asking a question or doing something that they need a bit of extra help on, I think that's when her will or like that aspect could come into play. But I don't see it coming into play at this point. Like
Fair enough.
she's
Good point.
she sees herself more as the like crew provider and carrier of things
Sounds good.
then going back with the checklist of cool stuff
Okie doke.
for
So, we've got 1 question for Laundress, 3 for Mashavin, 2 for um, Celia, um, and Kenneth and Tome are working support.
Wait, can
What do you do?
I run something by you real quickly?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
At the end of last session, I think Tome did a little experiment with fire marble, and it seemed to kind of tumble far away down into some sort of small shaft. And I don't know if there's any mechanical way to factor that into the whatever sort of surveying she's doing now, but I think she is probably curious to kind of figure out what's under the ground. Is there any way to factor that in?
If we can do a create advantage roll to essentially add an aspect based off of that. So let's go ahead and give you let's do another roll on that, and we'll see if we can create an aspect off that. We'll do it off of a 3 as well. Which skill are you going to use?
Unfortunately, I got a -2 again, but yeah, I probably would use surveying.
You have the option of succeeding at a cost, if you like. A cost means there's something that does happen that makes things more difficult. But it does mean that you do succeed, and you'll get a question. I mean, you'll make the aspect.
I think I'm going to pass that up for now, since we have enough other people who are ready to take the lead and do
Fair
some
enough.
good investigating here.
Fair enough. Okie doke. Okay. So we got our questions. So, okay, team, what's the survey plan? What are you doing?
Well,
What questions you want to ask?
So these crystals that are in the cave,
Mhm.
Are they familiar or similar to any crystals we use in Denis at this point?
yeah, I'd like to take a sample and
Sure.
look at them.
You can take a sample. The question for you is Mashavin's. So these are similar to some of the crystals that you've seen used in, Great Zero constructs. However, these particular crystals are not particularly pure. They're shot through with dark inclusions. So sort of like if you'd taken a quartz and marbled it.
Ooh.
So
That sounds incredibly beautiful.
it does have some definitely. It's kind of like maybe marbled it with like mica. So there is a bit of sparkle and that sort of thing when you hit it just right. Um, but yeah, it just seems to be completely shot through it. So it's not something you could use for optics or
Or
sort of
industrial use.
industrial use and that sort of thing. Um, but
Okay.
there sure is a lot of it though. So one question. You were going to do Celia. You were going to do some analysis on it. Did you want to do analysis and use a question? Did you want to try something?
Yeah, I had actually been going to test something very similar to see if they had any kind of potential use in our devices. But you know what? Uh, I wonder if they react chemically with anything. So I'd like to do a roll to check that. Like, you know how fire marbles light up, for
Yeah.
example, or maybe they're going to, if I drop chemical on them, maybe they're going to glow. Maybe they're going to actually break apart.
Maybe we
Something
should do
like
this
that.
outside the cave. Just
That's a
Maybe
good
they're
idea.
gonna explode and turn into brand new murder rocks.
Yeah.
just a thought.
Okay, so what if I
Maybe we
take
can
the
take the
what if-
explosions outside.
what if I take the rock piece outside and then try?
Okay, so you have two options here. You can make a roll,
Mhm.
or you can use up one of your questions. Either one.
I would like to make a roll just because I haven't gotten to use my experiment roll yet.
Go for it. Okay. This will be a versus of 4.
Okay, so I've got a +3, so let's see if this shakes out good. And that's a 2.
That's a 2.
Oop.
Do you want to either find an aspect that you can tag, or maybe succeed at a cost?
I want to succeed at a cost because I like creating trouble.
There we go. Okay, so you've got kind of like some your basic surveyor chemical testing kit. It's just a small thing that you can tuck into a bag pretty easily, and you're kind of going through the the standard tests, reactivity test, and scrape it and see how with the hammer and that sort of that, and you put in one of the chemicals in it and it starts fizzing. Like if you'd put vinegar and baking soda. Except it's
Ooh,
fizzing black.
oh, that's kind
And
of
it's going,
weird.
and it's fizzing all over it's fizzing all over your gloves, and it's staining your gloves black, and it smells horrible.
Ugh.
So we're gonna give you a minor consequence of nauseous.
Ew. Okay.
So yeah, and the rest of you, can whatever you're doing, you get the smell that kind of comes in. It's not.
Like, guess who's sleeping outside the camp?
It's
No.
Rotten eggs and sulfur. You're
bad.
welcome.
It's bad. It's acrid. It's kind of stingy. Um it's not painful. But it's definitely not pleasant.
Mhm.
Ugh. Did anything interesting happen to it after that?
Pretty much
Like,
it's like the inclusions kind of clear out in the sense that the chemical is bubbling, whatever the inclusion is bubbling it out in an energetic fashion.
so on the bright side, I look over at Rashaman. On the bright side, we can purify it. On the downside, we don't want to be near it when we purify it, but we can go tell the Guild of Chemists about that.
If only I was in my lab. Well, it's pretty cool though.
It was pretty cool.
Ken, what are you doing right now?
Well, I'm guessing obviously breakfast is done. Her job is to then clean up.
Yeah, probably
but
no one's
I
gonna be
think
hungry
the
after that
main
smell
thing
anyways.
is that she's going to
Sorry.
be wondering if we're traveling or if we're going to break camp, and like is this base camp, and we're going to do like day hikes and do exploring, or like.
Sounds like a great question. It's a great thing to discuss.
Yeah, that's kind of what she's wondering. What do you guys think? Like, should we make this kind of home base on Unai and just kind of go as far as we can in a day and come back?
I think that does sound good for now, especially
Yeah.
because I would like to investigate the so-called murder rocks.
Yeah. Okay,
And,
because
see
that
how they
helps.
see how they attempted murder before, so we cannot have it happen to us later.
So in that case, what she would like to do is sort of,
Make
not
it more
that she's a
comfortable.
pro at it, but she'd like to build some almost like fortifications. Like we know this area is habited, we know there are people, and she'd like a heads up if someone starts approaching the camp. So she kind of wants to set some like security kind of things around the camp. That's what
You
she
could
would be
make
wanting to.
you could try that with say something like engineering
I have
or
craft.
survival or what?
Craft?
Yeah, let's give it a craft.
Craft?
Um, craft 5 versus a 5. It's gonna be a tricky
Okay.
one.
Okay.
So I would like to invoke my stunt here.
Oh,
Okay.
Something from nothing. Spend a fate point to create the aspect jury-rigged materials with a free invoke. So I'm spending a fate point to find some convenient rocks, some pointers on how you could arrange things, like how to put some stuff together. And
Cool.
so jury-rigged materials with a free invoke. Go.
That's cool.
That's
let me
really
get my
helpful
thing here.
because yeah, I only just got my +4 because I have a craft at +4, but my dice came out as a 1+ and 1 negative. So
Okay, doke. We've got
wah,
some
wah.
jury-rigged material. So it was it's got a free invoke on it.
It
Great.
does.
Which sounds like it's being passed. So okay, so you have a free invoke available on your roll if need be.
Okay, obviously it needed be because
Oh, hey, what'd you get?
I have the 4 that my craft comes with.
So a +2 will bring you to a 6, which will be successful.
Okay, cool. That would be great.
Okie doke. So since these materials have been used up,
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
camp alarms.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that this is a good idea, right?
Definitely.
Okie doke. Um, what is Tome doing?
I think I'm not sure what happens given that I sort of failed on my surveying skill check, but I'm still interested in surveying. I'm still interested in, I guess, just like knocking on the stone in different places, seeing if there's a sort of hollow sound anywhere, seeing if there's more going on below the surface than we're aware of.
Sure. I mean, let's dig into that a bit. Okay, so you're kind of you're checking the shafts, like where you're
Yeah,
dropping.
I think I'm starting there and then sort of spreading out from there a little bit to see if there are other hollows.
Okay, let's do a roll just for you on that one.
Okay,
Um,
sure.
give it a versus a 4. What skill are you using?
I'm using surveying again. Yes,
Uh-huh.
I'm using surveying, and I rolled a 2 plus a 1, which is a 3. Uh,
Any other uh options you got for a see, let's look at your aspects here.
yeah, my
Yeah, this
aspects are more social aspects for the most part, or kind of broader exploration, not so much investigating a specific thing.
okay. Now, okay, since we're started off, do you think that your character is going to be need some more exploration themed aspects?
That they're things you'll pick up over time as you're working with us, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
I mean, since
it's
we're still getting our characters together, so I have no problem if you decide that you want to change one of your aspects.
Hmm.
This will be a one-time thing, because except for milestones and such. But
right. I don't know if I mean, I could definitely imagine an aspect relating to her just being sort of resourceful. I think she's had to learn to be resourceful, even though she grew up with privilege. She's kind of left that behind. And so maybe some sort of like I mean, I feel like we already have things like the what is it, stone soup, rock soup aspect.
Well, that may be something to
or
think about then.
yeah,
Here, I'll make you a deal. If you're willing to spend a fate point, I'll let you use will on that substitute will on that roll from your surveying because
sure,
you've got you're just like I'm gonna be helpful here. Darn it.
sure,
So
I'll do that.
this is not an official rule in Unwritten, but one of the basic rules of Unwritten is don't let the rules get in the way of the story. So, yeah.
Cool.
So let's go ahead and then you spend a fate point. You're down 2. Okay, no. So your will, what if you substitute will for surveying? What's your what's your result on that roll?
My result is like I have
6.
a very, very willful personality.
Yep. Okie doke. So that's an excel. So you've gone from not doing too well to like really nailing it. So you can you've been doing testing, that sort of thing. Are you trying to accomplish anything or just grab information?
I think the former would depend on the latter. I guess
Sure.
ultimately, if there is any sort of underground hollow space, I would be trying to find access to larger pockets of it. But I don't
Okay.
know if that exists.
There are lots of underground shafts and such. And you think that you can see if you kind of put your head in one way in and you can see an area that looks a little bit lighter than the rest. So
Okay.
you would think that that means that somewhere over probably on the other side of the area of the wall that you're on, that alcove is on, there's probably some sort of opening over there that's open to the open that light's coming in from.
Is it possible, or is it just large enough to get my head in and see the light?
It's large enough for you to kind of get your head in to see the light, so you'd have to go over to the other side to see if there's something, a passable area over there.
Sure. Well, I will do that.
Okay. You can head off. You can tell everybody what you're doing, or just gonna.
I think the right thing to do would be to tell everyone what I'm doing, but I don't think that Toma is going to do that. I think she's very like, she's been like spending so much will on this action that she's just really focused in it, and she's not used to having friends to work with like this.
Right,
it
she's
is
used to being on her own,
right?
so there she goes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to count that as a self-compel because you're causing
Okay.
yourself a problem. So I am giving you a fate point for it.
Yay!
Get back up.
Yay.
Okay,
All right.
so no, the fact that no one else is noticing that Tome is not there anymore. So Laundress, you still have one question for
Yes,
the deputy in the area. Mashavan, you have 2, and Celia, you have 2. So what are you guys doing?
Well, so Laundress is like, I'm sure he actually noticed Toma leave. He is literally speechless. Like his jaw is just on the ground because you have somebody without any protective gear at all doing chemical things and causing fizzing rocks. And then you have the other one who we haven't even eaten breakfast yet, and she's already shoving her head down a death hole and then deciding to run off without telling anybody anything.
I mean, Celia has gloves on.
Yeah, to be fair.
Well, okay, but if you're messing with chemicals, wouldn't you imagine like a hood of some kind to like prevent? Like if you're about to do anything with chemicals, are you going to be like, oh yes, let me put my face directly above the fizzy? No, you wear like a hood and you have like a whole ventil, like Mashavan would say. Oh, if only I had my lab. Maybe you should take it back to the lab. Maybe we put it away. And we don't do things that can get, because he's still out here just trying to figure out if they're going to die, from just everything that's happening here. And then oh, this is so his mouth is just on the he can't even actually think of a question. He's just
We're going to the beach next, so Landris can like chill out.
there are sharks. There are sharks.
And
Man-eating
undertows, and
shellfish.
everybody's gonna eat and then go immediately swimming, and that's horrible. Alright, so Laundress is fussing over you, Celia. What are you
Just kind
doing?
of fussing in general. He's
Too,
just
but definitely, Celia's definitely has quite a bit of attention drawn just because of the
yes.
continuing fizzing that continues.
That's probably part of why Thomas just getting to run off because attention is elsewhere.
Mhm.
And Sophia is like, I have training in this. I have the gloves on. I have goggles. Okay, maybe Sophie didn't have a filter mask, but these are standard reactivity tests. I've run them dozens of times back at the cavern. She protests and totally gets into
and
this
he just-
argument.
She's
Yes, and
doing
he
them right.
he does the and he starts just scribbling notes
And then she's like, besides, we've discovered that in their natural form, they have inclusions and probably aren't going to be worth much for optics, but that we can purify them. And if we do purify them, then maybe they'll be worth something. So then we'll be able to take home multiple samples and we'll be able to compare them better in the lab and hand them off to the Guild of Analysts and the Guild of Chemists. Is there something you'd prefer us to look at that aren't the crystals? Because those were a very obvious starting point.
No, it's fine. It's just maybe next time before we go and do things, because obviously they're exploding rocks, and he sort of gestures to the direction they came from yesterday. Maybe try not to make more explode, because we don't know if that was a simple reactivity test. We don't know if somebody went and did something terrible down there. We don't know if it's an execution procedure. Maybe somebody did some kind of crime and that's how they execute people here. How do we know that stealing the crystals is not a terrible crime to the people who inhabit this age? There are clearly tracks. We don't know the social etiquette. We haven't encountered anybody. And now he's just and now he's losing his mind. He's just like, oh crap, we're supposed to make first contact with the people, and we may have just like insulted their god by taking a crystal and pouring it under some liquid.
So during this, what is Mashavan doing?
Mashavan
Celia's just looking at Mashavan like, and can it like help over his shoulder?
It's like he needs a blanket over his head. Maybe give it a timeout.
The equivalent of a paper bag to breathe into.
That'll be in the next
Paper bag.
The next equipment kit.
Yes.
So when Landris starts going on his rant and mentions the murder rocks, Mashavan says, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go look at those, weren't we? All right, now seems like a good time, shall we?"
Thanks for reminding us, Landis. Let's go check out the murder rocks.
So is Mashavan taking off?
Let's just all split up. Toma went somewhere that way. We're gonna go that way. All right. What? So shut up.
Oh right. Wait, Toma's gone?
Yeah. Since when?
This is a good
Yeah.
point to pause and camera over to Toma.
Toma, what are you doing while we're
So
causing
you have
trouble?
climbed up to the top of the ravine wall. Walked across and started climbing down the other side. This is actually in the general direction of the murder rocks, but not in the not the same ravine part. So you climb down and you kind of like, okay, this is where I was. This is what, and you do see towards the bottom of the wall something that you could that a large diddy person could probably crawl through. So you definitely could fit in there.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna crawl in. I have my D device that will allow me to message the rest of the group if I crawl in
Mhm.
and get stuck or something,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like I still have
Right.
the means to do that. So
You can probably hear Laundress's echoes off the walls. Like,
yeah, I think the generals, like the vague sounds of fussing in the distance are not exactly pulling Tome back. They're kind of pushing her forwards a little bit. She's
Oh,
like,
you
I
wanna
better
get
just
away
go
from
for if I
that.
don't go for this now, Landris won't let me. So I just have to do it.
Awesome.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's valid.
Okay, so what is Tome doing?
Okay. So this is like a kind of a horizontal tunnel that I could crawl into, or it goes down.
It's sort of horizontal. Um, you probably would have to get in a bit to see what happens beyond that, but it doesn't seem to narrow. So it's not, you could probably, there's probably some other space beyond that, but like I said, you'd have to get into it to really be able to tell, especially if you had a light, like a fire marble
Maybe
or
you'll
something.
find your fire marble when you get in there.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the light source. Or no, I guess I saw daylight coming through. But yeah, do I have more fire marbles? Is that a thing we can generally assume we have?
Yeah, a few fire marbles is fine, yeah.
Okay, I'll fire off one more of them, and I'll start crawling in, I guess, until I can get a better sense of what I'm dealing with.
Okay, give me an athletics roll with difficulty of 4, just to see how you do.
You can do it.
Don't really have a spelunking skill, but
I feel like that should be a thing.
The roll was a 2, but my athletics is +3, so that is a 5.
okay, no, yeah, you can
Nice.
wiggle around in there.
Mm.
And you can, kind of make your way through. Um, there, there's a. You go in. It starts to kind of point downward, um, and kind of turns. So you're kind of winding your way. You're kind of winding your way downward. Um,
Does it feel damp? Like, does the air around you feel damp? That's what I want to like.
no, it's not damp or anything like that.
Bummer.
It's sort of dusty. It smells a little odd. Um, you know, you do. I mean, there are those crystals around that you kind of you'll see a couple. You see a couple here and there, and occasionally you'll see like a vein. And
Okay.
the light reflects off those. Um, and you kind of go back down and around, and there's a couple of branching things that kind of head up, probably where you saw the light from the other side. Um, but you go down and around, and it comes to a wall of some sort. Like, in terms of there's a hole. You're now crawling through a hole in a wall into an underground chamber.
Can I keep an eye out for any other kind of footprints or handprints as I'm doing this?
Sure, sure. I'm gonna say you're not gonna see any right now, but you
Okay.
do see a fire marble glowing in the corner of the chamber.
Hey, it's not
Okay.
lost forever.
So you are
Unless
definitely
it's
in an
someone else.
underground chamber that's been carved.
Oh,
And there is a tunnel leading, you know, there's a door and a little bit of a tunnel leading there. You can see that at certain parts of the walls, where there used to be inclusions, and someone has pulled out the crystals. So there's sort of like a wall. There are walls in them, but people have been, yanking the crystal out. So there's kind of weird, jagged stuff in there. Um, it It's really, really incredibly dusty in there, and smells. It smells sort of like the smell, a little bit like the smell that was coming from that Celia managed to generate.
Okay.
Okay. So I think at this point, Tome definitely feels like she's getting in over her head maybe literally she's and she's not best equipped to do the geological work. And so what she's going to do is use her D to message, I think to message Solia specifically, and kind of let Solia sort of manage the response and communication with the rest of the group. But she trusts Solia. Solia stuck her deck out for Tomei last session, and also seems very excited about exploring these stones. So she's going to kind of relay this information back in that manner.
Okay, doke. So we'll pivot back to the other area. So, Mashavan, you were going to be doing something.
I was going to suggest that, we've done a little bit of exploration here with the crystals and looking around in the holes. We could go to the site of the explosion and investigate more there. To the entire group move there. The absence of Tomei is surprising and probably putting a halt to that, at least temporarily.
While they're talking about it, Celia looks down at her D and then turns away for a moment. Like turns her back to the group, which may or may not be appearing rude to Landris, especially if he's still talking, and she's just like pivots.
We'll get to the D conversation in a second. So, Landris, Mashavan, Kenneth, what are you doing?
He's probably just like Zayla because yes, finally everybody has noticed that Tomei is just gone. Oh, look at Landris, the crazy one over here. Oh,
and remember that Landris, you still have a question about your examination of the area. Mashavan, you have two.
Kenneth's gonna try to calm him down, actually.
It's okay.
Because honestly, he's being loud. People have taken off. Perhaps this is not a good time to freak out.
yes.
While she's not the most, I don't know, she's not uncharitable, but I think she will actually try to kind of take pity on him as somebody who's freaking out and needs to get his stuff back together so that they can keep going, because also she's a little worried that he's so freaked out they may just recall everybody and make us all go home.
Oh,
so Kenneth helping to calm him down, he finally thinks of something, which is again going to the worst case scenario, because he is just picturing this now in his head, and it's making him slightly hyperventilate again. So he has seen what happens to the rocks when some type of moisture hits them. He doesn't know. He doesn't do geology, but they start fizzing and supposedly breaking down and getting clearer and stuff, right? And we know Toma has walked off, and we know some rocks exploded. His question is there any chance of there being random sinkholes that Toma can wind up falling into because of just moisture in the air, if something rains, etc.? If this fizzing happens on a large enough scale, could everything just go?
Potentially. You're not entirely certain exactly what Celia was testing reactivity with. May not have been water, but the place does seem to be shot through with sort of tunnels, natural tunnels and such, and there was an explosion nearby recently, so who knows what might be unstable.
So Landris is going to kind of
helping.
Yeah, Landris is going to kind of.
We're moving camp. I just set alarms, and now we're going to move, aren't we?
Landris is just hyperventilating a little bit more again, and just maybe we should go find her. Yes, there. I don't know. I'm not a scientist like that. And then he's going to kind of wave Celia over real quick, hey, come here.
Celia's not paying attention at the moment because Celia
Correct.
is doing something with the D. So what's going on between that D conversation?
Celia asks Toma what's going on.
Is this communication all this is all over text message basically, or is this voice communication?
Oh yeah, what do our Ds have? Just text or voice?
We'll go with voice just to make it easier.
Okay. So I'm not going to say like hashtag cave, but
That's how you tag all your photos when you take them.
yeah.
And that's how you put them on Triagram.
Mhm.
So yeah, I found some things that might interest you. There are a lot more of those stones with the inclusions down here. I'm not far away, but I'm somewhere down below, and I could use some backup.
Okay. Well, Landris is currently wondering where you are, so you probably heard that.
Oh, I'm I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make anyone worry. Lenders kind of seemed like a lost cause though, so I decided to
Celia tries
really-
very hard not to
Goodness
laugh,
sense
and
of
she
it.
fails, and she just starts laughing. So the other people probably, if they're only getting part of this, just hears laughter.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Landris is like looking for a loose rock, not like like a pebble to like kind of throw to like get attention nearby, not throw it at Celia
Oh yeah, there's all
because
kinds of little rocks
she
around.
clearly ignored is like, hey, so
And Celia goes, so what I'll do is we'll come get you. Do you want to stick your head out of whatever you're in? Will it be easy for us to follow your tracks, or did you like rappel down something?
It did take a little bit of scrambling, so I can try to come back out.
Oh, they'll
to-
have fun.
Yeah.
Celia just starts laughing again. All right, be right there.
Great. Bring whoever you want to bring with you. Just it seems like there's some evidence here of more people having been around, so it could be a delicate situation. So just use your best judgment.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Celia, you notice that you actually have a D message waiting.
Oh, I hang up with Toma and then look at the D message.
It's from Tellen, your contact at the Guild of Maintainers.
Ooh.
And it says, where in Jakkuth's age have you gone? When we went to deliver the books, you were not there. Um, this is, even though, even though you're a group of God, there's a Denis word here that I probably shouldn't translate. A group of bleep. You still have a job to do. I've got, you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be exploring this age that I have for you. I want to hear from you immediately.
Uh-oh.
So Celia pauses and reads this twice.
I would.
And then she turns to the others and she goes, actually, hold on. Can I just finish taking a note on that message?
Yeah, sure.
This is
Is
not
Celia
page
the
you're
only one
looking
here?
for.
Are you going to give us the text of the full message later?
I can do that, yeah.
Okay, awesome, because I don't want to transcript the whole thing.
Yeah.
But basically, the TLDR is these were not our books.
This sounds
there's a fire alarm going off. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's.
yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, let's be safe.
Oh,
Let's be
no.
safe, yes. And so Laundress is just sort of, trying to rest.
Yeah.
Kenneth's given
So-
something like, here, once you eat this,
Actually,
you'll feel
I
better.
probably have something in my bag that could help.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably have some herbs that might induce a state of calmness.
There you go.
Okay.
So,
So just to recap,
Laundress
since
just
like
falls asleep immediately.
Okay.
Just like, no tolerance.
What a lightweight.
Yeah.
Sorry.
so just to recap the gist of the message, if not the text, since you'll give it
Yeah.
to me. The TLDR is the implication is definitely those were not our books,
Yeah.
since
Oh.
they were like, give me that message.
Oh dear.
Come back here and get this message. And did that only go to me or did that go to everybody else?
I don't know.
Can
did
I
you ever
see
check
that
your
on the day?
Ds?
So
Oh,
Celia,
Your Ds.
Celia looks at the rest of you guys and goes, because Landis isn't here, but we'll go with he's knocked out. She goes, so I just heard from Toma, and she found a really neat cave. Did you mention the fire marble? Out of character.
I don't think I mentioned the fire marble. I just mentioned that it looked like maybe other people have been here.
So Toma found a cave where other people were. So I think we should, and that looked like it had signs of habitation. And given that that's the checking these things out is our job, I think all of us, and she kind of looks at Landris and goes, I was going to say all of us should go meet up with her there and take a look around. That way we're all reunited. But if one of you wants to stay here with Landris, I will go with one of you to get Toma and see what's going on, and then we can come back here and regroup and talk about if we want to keep exploring there. You will note that she is distinctly not mentioning this message.
Yeah.
I mean, Toma was definitely looking at her device when she reached out to Solia. Did she notice any messages?
Toma did not have any messages.
Kenna totally wants to go exploring, and she has half a mind to take Landris's hand and drop it on the like return to base book.
That could cause bigger problems given the message.
That would be mean. Like, she shouldn't do that. But it's like, well, we wouldn't have to leave anyone behind to take care of him if he was at home base, and then he could just link back when he's ready.
Mishavan will stay with Landris and probably investigate these crystals.
Actually, Kenneth. So, Kenneth, you are being a bored rich kid. You're not used to. You don't want to deal. You're not used to dealing with things you don't want to deal with. So the idea of just linking him back so that he'll be safe and you don't have to deal with him sounds really good. The GM said as she was offering you a fate point.
Right. It sounds very compelling when
it sounds very compelling.
Shoot.
So you have the option of spending a fate point to not do it, or doing it and taking the fate point.
Oh man. Because no, she's not into babysitting.
Nope.
And this is sounding like this is sounds more like babysitting.
Yeah, and there's this exciting thing that you can
Well,
go
it's not
explore.
like he can't like link back in and come back.
Yeah.
But you are kind of drugging him and kidnapping him. Like a little bit.
It's for his own good.
Oh dear. Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't have thought of that. Oh. Maybe she'll just vocalize it and then hope that someone will either agree with her and be done with it. Because she has a vague notion that she has to still get along with the rest of the people.
That's true, but once again, he's out. If he gets left alone, I mean, So the question is, you have a choice as a player. Are you gonna give in to this or not? If you don't give in, it costs a fate point. If you do give in, I give you one. So.
I'm sorry, guys. She would totally do that, though.
Well,
he'll be safe at least.
Mm-hmm. So I need your decision.
Okay. Yeah.
Okie doke. So you get a fate point. Like, he'll be okay. He'll be safer this way, right?
Like, by the way, you're unconscious and lying in our home base back in the camper. Poor guy.
Okay.
So no.
It looks like the chat likes your decision too.
Okay. She'll root through his stuff, find the book he made to go back to our home base specifically, so that the Guild of Maintainers doesn't find out that we did that, and just like casually drop his hand on the book, And then pick up the book and put it in her stuff so that like they've got it with them when they go after Tome.
Mhm.
It's like everyone was cool with that, right?
Well,
Afterthought.
I
And goes,
I guess so. I mean, it would make sense not to be dragging him around, I guess. I
Miss-
seems
Miss Moffat,
practical.
do
And
you
we
want
need
to
your
go
exploration.
back
Like you're wasted
with-
sitting here with him.
Oh,
That is also a good point. It does seem like it'd be more practical. Maybe a little bit excessive, but practical nonetheless.
Excessive.
I mean, if you're really worried, Miss Moffat, you could also link back and sit with him till he wakes up, and then link back in and rejoin us.
I'm not that worried.
AKA, I don't miss my lab that much. I need more samples.
Okay, out of character. I'm just losing it. I need a minute.
And I actually love this quack. It was such an inspired idea.
I can't believe you compelled her, but she was like, "Oh shoot, she would."
It just
It
yeah,
would.
just it was just a
Doesn't
really
always
good
make the best
idea.
decisions. That's why she's in the Guild of Caterers, not something more sitting per station.
I mean, who knows what he'll discover back there? Not that our characters know this, but given that message that Celia received, maybe he'll discover the actual linking books that we were supposed to be.
By the way,
using.
has
It could be
anyone else looked
interesting.
at their D?
Haven't had a reason to, so
Okay,
no.
just checking.
So Celia taps out a quick message on hers to Landris
Good
that
idea.
and says, "I'm just going to leave him a note." And she taps out a quick text to him that just says, "We're going to retrieve Toma and come right back to the workshop,
Okay,
the one in Dunny." She
Okay.
means.
okay, you
Oh,
said that
okay.
message. So, what are the three of you doing?
Well, I guess now we're going to find our wayward intern.
Okay.
Yep.
What is the
Faroguy.
wayward
Wayward
intern
intern,
doing
I like
currently?
I think she's gonna pause for a moment just to listen for any sounds in this cave, and then she's gonna head back towards the opening where she climbed in to make it easier for the others to find her.
Sure. Yeah, there's nothing of particularly that sounds particularly interesting. No real, if you happen to hear anything, it's definitely sort of like settling noise sort of thing.
Okay. Okay.
But and you can get out just fine. So the rest of you get up and over at the top, and then as you go to the other side, you can see that Toma is down at the bottom, standing next to a noticeable sort of hole in the side of the wall there, just about good enough size for someone could get through.
Cool.
So
So we're gonna go in, right?
Yeah, I would. It would
Yeah.
be great if you could come along. I think my fire marble is down there. I'd like to get it back.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's like a whole like marble runway. Maybe we could have some fun with this.
I'll go back to the top. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
That does sound fun.
Right?
And also, it seems like maybe whoever was here before isn't here now, so it might be a good time for us to poke around a little bit.
Good idea.
Yep.
Maybe they left something behind that'll tell us more about them so we can be more
Yeah.
prepared for when we do meet them.
So out of character, was Aaliyah just totally lying in that message to Landris?
No.
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 This-
Okay.
Out of character. Do you want the out of character spoiler or just see how it's going to turn out?
We can see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, she was not lying.
Okay.
So we get to explain things too. Yes. Good.
okay, so you guys are gonna then crawl in after after Tome.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll give a hand to anyone who needs it since I've done it
Yeah.
already.
You
We gotta roll
you crawl
first.
through, and then you get to that same, sort of chamber with the sort of, holes in the walls and sort of thing. Um,
I'm so sorry.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi.
So
Somebody burned a pizza.
Uh-oh.
Ah,
So Landris, we will get back to you.
in a sec.
Okay, you're fine.
You the four of them are doing something and you are not there at the moment.
Oh goodness.
So okay, so you crawl into the chamber. Um
Oh, we're
And-
crawling into things now. Uh-oh.
you crawl into the chamber. You guys heard the description before.
Mhm.
Celia and Mashavan, you still have some questions about
Right.
the nature of the rock and the geology in the area that you could spend at any point during this.
So when we get down there and see that it's been used before, I would like to use a question like, how long has it been since somebody was here? Can I tell that?
You could probably make an estimate. It's not a long time ago. I mean, there. You would think some of the you would guess from some of the you see some like tool marks and that sort of thing, and what you know of some things with from people that you knew in the Guild of Miners, that this is relatively recent in the sense that definitely in the last few years or so.
Okay, that kind of
Years.
recent.
Like yesterday, they're just at
It's not
lunch break.
ancient or
Here
anything
they
like
come,
that.
hi ho, hi ho.
You said there was
It's on a
dust. You
geological
said there was
timescale.
dust, right?
Right.
It's very, very
Yeah.
dusty, yes.
So the
Okay.
dust indicates that it wasn't like used within the last couple months, but
Yeah.
the age of the tool markings indicates that it's not like prehistoric and thousands of years ago. Is that what you're getting at?
Yes, though the dust isn't the sort of dust that you would expect. There's a lot more dust that you in here than you would expect it would build up through just like things blowing through a couple of shafts down the way here. There's a
Okay.
lot of dust and
Hmm.
around, and just it cakes everything. It's black
Maybe this
and
rock is kind of soft.
it smells sort of like Celia does. Of course, it's kind of hard to tell now that because Celia, or unless you didn't bring your gloves, I guess you could say.
No, it would have changed them
Okay,
because
okay,
you don't
but
know what the contaminant
it smelled
is.
like Celia's glove used to, but not quite as significant.
Gen-
So
Okay.
yeah, so Mashavan has one more question left. Celia has a question left.
So Celia's just gonna take a sec and pause and say, uh, hey Toma and Kenneth, could you two do us a favor and start taking the images of the chamber, those hollows, and she points at the jags where things came out, the door, the markings. That way we can catalog them for reference. Because
Yeah,
that way she's giving directions to the
Okay.
people who aren't scientists.
Oh, by the way, Kenneth, you notice that you have a key message.
Oh. Yeah,
I-
good
I
thing you
was gonna
said
say-
something because I totally forgot to check my D.
I was gonna say was gonna step over to Mashaban and go, so you should check your D.
Oh, okay.
So
Is it the same message?
yes,
Okay.
and Mashavan, you have the same message.
I see.
Tome did not have that message on her key, as we
Because he
established
doesn't
previously.
think she's part of the group because she's the intern. What a jerk.
Yeah.
But now I have questions.
Ah.
I think that
Okay. By the way, it's as you're working around,
Pardon me.
all of your hands are getting very dirty. Like they're getting sort of like a black cast to them, like they're getting stained.
Oh, lovely.
And you kind of you kind of like see like your boots have gotten much darker in the
Yeah.
dust.
I wonder if this stuff is going to come off.
That is an excellent question.
So now that we're all together, my thought was we should take pictures of everything,
Mhm.
Celia says, and gather any samples or anything, and then go back to the workshop in Dunny and catch Landris up on things. And there's something we should all talk about when we're there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Agreed.
just you're gonna document the room, the chamber. You're not going to go down the tunnel, but you're gonna go back up the small tunnel to where you were and go back to your camp.
Should we break camp? That's the other thing. We probably don't want to leave sign behind.
So as part of documenting, I would like to take a quick peek behind this door. Just a crack.
I mean, there's there is it's a tunnel. It goes it's a rougher tunnel like you would expect from like a mining effort. And it goes and it goes past a bit past where your light goes. So
Okay.
you would have to go a bit further down to see where it leads.
That is tempting.
So what's y'all? What are you doing?
I guess we're going back for the moment.
Did anybody read their messages, or
I guess, yeah, I read my
I-
message, and now she's like, who gave us this book? Where did these books come from? If this isn't the book.
Okay, so the plan is the
Yeah.
four of you are gonna go back to the camp. Are you gonna break camp?
I see. I would like
That's,
if this is suggested that we weren't supposed to be here, we need to make it look like we weren't here.
Well,
Is-
that is true. This is fascinating. So I
So you want to leave the camp set up and then
Well,
just come back?
Oh.
I
It's
I'm
suppose
more
it'd be
worried about
better.
the local miners finding our stuff.
That does make sense.
Well, we've got this awesome thing where I could make us a linking book to this age at our camp.
True.
In
I
theory,
But-
yes.
You're
But I
well
assume-
located to do this.
I was saying, but I assume something has happened where I got told something, and Landris was just so distraught he got like the nosebleed and fainted on the ground, and y'all were just like, "He'll be fine."
So you guys decide
you wish
exactly
that
what you're
was
gonna
what
do.
happened.
You guys,
Oh boy!
you guys are gonna go back and do camp and that sort of thing. I
Yeah.
will move back up. We'll pan over to Landris.
Yes.
So what has
Yeah.
happened is that you had been sort of doing your thing, and
Yes.
Kenneth had said, "Here,
Oh.
here, eat this."
Oh, I got drugged.
One quick thing, Kenneth has 45 fate points.
Oops.
Use them all now.
Oh,
That's what I get for hitting my keyboard. Thank you for pointing that out.
dang it. No.
So yeah, and and you're like, and that it was like, oh, maybe this is not all that bad.
I got drugged.
You open your eyes and it's dark. You're on the stone floor. You're kind of staring up at a stone ceiling.
I still have all the linking books, right? I have the one to the quarantine zone and the one back to our little office.
You check. There's a linking book missing.
Which one is it?
It's the one back to your office.
I love the slow reveal of this.
Okay.
You look around and you actually realize you are back in your office, back in the headquarters. Laying about exactly where you would be if you had linked in with your link to back to the office.
I got drugged and linked home. Oh boy.
and you have a key message. D message.
Yeah.
Oh,
Leah sent
okay.
you a
So I
message.
checked my key message.
And it is the same message that
Okay, so it's from Tellin, and it
Mhm.
says, well, we're not supposed to be where we just were.
It says pretty much where have you gone? I sent I'll write the exact words later, but
Right.
I sent something to I sent someone to deliver this book so that that you could begin exploring it. You should you might be a pack of bleeps, but you still have a job to do.
So I start. Oh
There's
gosh,
also a
how
message
to?
from Celia too, though. So
should
you know.
read
What's
that
the message? What's the okay?
The message from Celia says, "Hey there, we're going to get Toma out of the cave that she's in, and then we're going to link back to the workshop in Dunny and have a quick discussion.
Oh
So we're all gonna
heck.
join you.
So we're gonna come meet you there."
Okay. Well, so now I have to decide: does Landris instantly dime everybody out by sending a message to tell her, or
Oh,
right? Like you have left him.
I'm
You
sorry,
have,
we went to some other age that was mysteriously dropped off in our unlocked office, and we just went.
right? Exactly. Like you have left him completely unsupervised.
But
Um,
he's also still drugged a little bit. Maybe he's like a little
Yeah,
chilled
you're a little
out more than
fuzzy.
normal. Maybe it's some pretty good stuff.
okay. Actually, oh man, I don't have a D20 here. Crap.
Do you need one? Do you want me to roll for you?
If you have a D20, give it a quick roll. Tell me if it's high or low.
Okay. I can do that for you.
Versus 10.
11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just barely high. So he's gonna still be groggy enough to be just like, he's misread this. He's like, oh, they delivered a book. He is looking for the book they've delivered right now.
Okay.
He is still groggy enough from whatever you drugged him with that he is in a stupor trying to find this new linking book that we're supposed to go to because he's convinced it's somewhere in the office now. So
And it might be.
and it might be. Who knows?
If they got past my security, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah. That's true.
Okie doke. So we'll do a little bit of unless Laundress, you're doing something specific. We'll do a little
Nope,
bit of
he's
fast
looking
forward.
for that.
It's just not anywhere there that you can see. It's got
Yeah.
but we'll
So-
fast forward to when the team links back in.
Yes.
Wow.
Did we decide if we were breaking the camp now, or I'm just trying to
We were
recall,
gonna
or
break
were we
the camp.
going to? I wasn't sure if we were going to go back to the camp and then go talk to Landris and then decide with him, or if we were going to break camp and then.
I Originally, I
Even
thought
if
we
we
were gonna
just took our personal items, like make sure we had all the linking books
That's
and
a
all
good
the
idea.
things that look dunny. If we left some sleeping bags behind,
Yeah.
it probably wouldn't be a big deal because it wouldn't totally rock the world of whoever found them.
Yeah.
Unless, they haven't invented zippers yet.
Where are we stashing the book that we used to link back?
Yeah,
Given,
That's
given
what I
that
was
this is
wondering.
an inhabited age, maybe we
Someone's
should
gonna have
stash
to
it.
link to the Guild of Maintainers thing so that we don't lose our book to home base, right?
Except your book to the maintainers is in my bag back at home base.
But don't we
Sure.
all have copies? I thought there were like 4 copies of those. So that no
there were 4
matter who
copies.
got
Did
lost.
you guys bring them?
I was
Yeah.
saying, did we bring all like the only 4 copies we had to the one age with us?
No, I think we probably would have brought like 2.
Two seems
Fair enough.
normal.
Yeah.
So one of
'Cause
us
I-
has them.
Yeah, because I thought we had the one for quarantine and the one for our office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, but you don't want like one person to have
And
the
then
only books home and they fall off a cliff and you're like,
Yep.
oh well, I guess we're all stuck here then.
Yeah.
and
You
then
definitely need
Landris,
at
I
least
think
one
had I think
Landris.
Landris had a blank one so that we could write one there.
Mhm.
Hmm.
That sounds good.
But yeah.
But there is that hell thing about that linking book you're gonna leave behind. What are you gonna do with it?
That goes directly into our office.
Yep.
No, hold on. If we brought 2 books, I thought we were bringing 2 of the ones that go to the maintainers.
Yeah, 2 that
Landris
go to
brought one of the
maintainers,
ones.
and then
brought the one to the office.
I took the one
Yeah,
from
'cause we-
Landris
Right.
to the
So
office.
what I'm saying is
Yeah.
that what we can do is one of us, say Celia, winds up going through the quarantine. It definitely shouldn't be Toma because she's just our intern. So it should
Landry's
probably
gonna get
be
in so much trouble.
Celia or Mashavan. So the rest of you can go back directly to the workshop, and then Celia puts that book in her bag and then uses the one to the quarantine area and like tries to shove it in a pile of rocks or something where it's least likely to be found, because then even if someone finds it, they're linking into the maintainer's quarantine area and then they're capturing the Aratam.
Good idea.
Mhm.
That
That's the
seems
whole
good.
point of using the quarantine setup, as far as I
Mhm.
understand it.
That makes sense. That's what I was thinking too. So we'll link. Thanks for volunteering to go to quarantine. Besides, we have all that black crap all over our gear.
Oh, you're
and
gonna be stuck in that quarantine office for like 14 days.
you
We're
should
never gonna
probably-
see you again.
You should see if it comes off when you're.
Yeah. So I think the plan is that sounds like a reasonable plan, unless any of the others there with us disagree.
I can't think of anything better.
I'd hate to lose our only one to the office. Otherwise, I'd be like, well, we could just set up one of your chemical
Well-
reactions to go, and then like put a bunch of crystals there, and then like
Well, so
dump some stuff on, link through it, and then the black crap obscures everything, and ta-da!
Not a bad
But
idea.
Well,
then we have to
remember-
book home, and Landers would have to write another one.
right, I was just saying because I can always write another one. We have a stock of blank ones to write with.
That's true. We could technically also burn the last one we're linking through.
True. Because like, what do you think we'll get quarantined with all this black crap all over our suits?
And if we
I-
go through quarantine, I have to explain where we were. I was just
And you
very
have to explain where
reliably
Landris
pricing my way
is.
through it.
That's
Maybe we
Alright.
should just use the office book and burn the office book.
that does seem
Because I made a fire to eat with, so we
That's
could
true.
just.
that
That's
does
true.
seem safer.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is kind of the standard maintainer thing that if you're leaking out of a place that's dangerous, you're expected to burn the book or destroy the book on your way out.
Maybe we'll do that then.
Yeah, I
Landers,
think that's
as
good.
long as Landers will write us another one.
Yeah, he's gonna be mad at us, but
He might be a little mad.
Let's just try not to.
Right now, he's like, just
He's-
there's another book.
he's going to be mad at us, but we're all going to have something really significant to discuss when we all get back there, which is going to
Yep.
be the entire part where what. But I don't want to discuss that until we're back at Denny.
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's do that then. We'll
Okay,
just-
there's the plan.
yeah.
Alright.
Okay, let's fast forward to book is destroyed. People leak through. Book falls in the fire. As per how the thing's supposed to go. Laundress, your head's starting to clear a little bit.
Oh crap!
And that's when people start linking in.
Yeah, he's just like, now wait a minute, I need to read this again.
Okay, so yeah, you've linked back in. They are I mean, they look like they've been rolling around in black chalk.
Okay, so he's just okay. Hold on, he's still slightly groggy.
So we
He's
look like
just gonna
giant
be like-
walking soot sprites.
Right. That's I'm trying to figure out how he'd phrase this, like, because he's assuming Celia did another experiment, and this time it blew up in their face.
We found where they were
That's-
mining it, so we just spread water like stuff all over the place, and it exploded.
Right. Just okay. Those-
Mashavan, when he gets there, immediately says, "I'm going to go clean up in the shower."
Mhm.
No, Lamb's like, wait. And then she's just like, okay, how do you know it's not going to like fizz and eat your skin the second you go to clean it up?
Because I'm going to wash my gloves first.
Mm,
That's acceptable. That's a smart thing to do.
good
That's
move.
how we don't melt our faces away with unknown. What are you covered in? My head hurts.
So Mashavan leaves a black dusty trail to the second level where the
Uncle Sarazar.
yes.
I love it.
That is also Celia's plan, honestly. Step one.
So is there a quick
Chemical
we
source.
go through and everybody kind of cleans up and such?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, let's just go through that.
Meanwhile, Andrews is just like, wait, did anybody message Talon back?
Like,
No, we're gonna
we want
talk
to
about it.
discuss first. Would you like a cookie? While you wait.
Was the cookie what got me messed
I'm
up last
teasing, I'm
time?
teasing.
I was gonna say
No.
because if okay,
No, teasing.
Landris is never going to accept any snacks from Kenneth again.
No, you had an unexpected reaction.
With
So-
something.
so he is wrestling because Talon's
like
like
that.
his boss, and everybody's like, but you can't tell him anything yet. We have to discuss things first. But it's his boss, so he is wrestling with this conundrum while everybody's cleaning up.
That's fair. Oh dear.
Okie doke. So
This
clean
is
up that sort of thing. Do you want to begin the discussion? Do you want to take a short break? It's
Yes, what time
we've
is it?
been going for about an hour and a half. So I don't know
Oh,
if people
it
want
is
to take a
about
quick
that
break,
time.
a bio break or anything. I mean,
I think
Yeah,
a short
sure.
break would be good.
Quick
Yeah.
bio.
okie
Yeah.
doke. We will do that then.
Okay.
I will never finish these French fries.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. There we
are
go.
back.
We are back. Hopefully everybody can hear us. I'm still getting the hang of the whole sound thing here, so I think we're good though. Okie doke. So, last that we saw, everyone had returned to their base of operations, and had cleaned up, and Landris is still a little fuzzy. So, oh, actually, the four of you who were into the cave, I'd like to go ahead and just have you roll your dice
All right.
and tell me the total.
Feels off.
With anything or just
Nope,
plain?
just straight 0.
Big fat 0, like most of my rolls.
Is Landris gonna get an "I told you so"
0.
moment?
I got a 2.
Got a 2? Okay, so all of you managed to actually get all the stuff off you.
Oh, good.
Wow.
If you'd rolled a negative, you would have had smudges that you could on your face that you could not get off. But you all managed to do it. There was a little bit of fizzing when you were washing stuff off, but not very much. Definitely not the effect that Celia had seen.
Excellent.
We should install a fan.
Yeah.
Hood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be smell a little weird in the shower for a little bit, but it'll pass. Okay, so you have gathered together here. Game on.
Okay.
What do people think about maybe reaching out to Devlin from the Guild of Writers before we respond to
Ask him if he knows what these other books were.
right, just run some of the names of these ages by him. Maybe there's just some guild politics going on here that we don't want to get caught up in.
Yeah,
No.
if we can confirm with him that those books came from him, then we can shove all the anger from Nolan onto Devlin. Like, that'd work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but these boxes of books we got, like with the linking books home and everything too, still had the Guild of Maintainers seal on
Symbols
them. And very clearly, like, we're from the Guild of Maintainers because they also had the linking books to the quarantine zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm remembering that correctly, right?
Mhm.
Like,
That is
okay,
correct.
it wasn't like the Guild. It wasn't like secretly the Guild of Writers symbol, and I just missed that part, right? Okay.
No,
Maybe
looked
Talon's
very
just
official.
like trying to like muck us out.
Had the fancy locks on it and everything. The fancy key, based locks, based locks on it and everything.
So
Everybody
we were
was able to
authorized
unlock
open
them, and to get into them.
And they looked normal when I was like going through them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went through them really carefully.
I was going through them very carefully, and somebody threw their hand on the panel. God.
How would Talon even know where we went and whether we went to the right place or not? Unless the maintainers haven't even given us our official books yet.
Right. That's because
does
it
seem to be
sounded
the
like
case.
the message was they were trying to deliver a book and we weren't there.
Yep. The door was locked.
Right.
So I suggest we still have the crates. We took off the locks because we were building our own security for the cabinets, but we have the crates.
Yes.
And we have the books. So I suggest taking a picture of the crate and sending it to Telen with, we received this delivery of maintainer books. Are these not the ones in question?
Yeah.
We've been working.
Just ask him that question.
Like this is the Guild of Maintainers, right? There's like a 17 Charlie form or something like that for this kind of rebuttal, correct? Like there's got to be some like standard operating procedure that Landris could like call upon with like see attachment,
If one has been given it into
AI.
error.
Like, yes. You know, like
Okay,
there,
400.
there's some kind of procedure for this, right? Like he might be a little groggy, but he might be able to recall, like, I can comprise this D-mail.
So what you are what are you intending to do with then?
I am trying to not get fired for going to the wrong page.
See,
And-
Lee isn't even thinking that far ahead about discussing that we went to one of these ages. Her logic is just, he's saying, we tried to deliver you
Right.
books.
We accepted the delivery.
So
Right.
Click.
now so I think just
I mean, the books were there when you arrived. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
books were here when we arrived.
Right.
So I think sending him a picture of the box of books and saying, like, be vague at the moment. Don't answer his "where were you" stuff, but just framing it as, we had a delivered box of books.
Yes.
Are these not the ones in question? Because then that forces him to either say, yes, they are, or no, they aren't, in
Yeah.
which case
Right.
we can elaborate from there.
Yeah.
Like,
Fools, they
don't-
sent the wrong box.
Right. Like, don't get caught
Which-
up in justifying everything from the beginning, because then
Mm.
he'll pick more holes at us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Give him a line and have him respond to that line, and then give him the next.
I think Celia's had some experience.
Was there a thing about the D's not being able to take pictures last session?
I don't remember.
We've
Don't
been
think
taking
we
pictures.
decided-
I don't think there was, because we were talking about taking pictures with them.
Okay.
So
I know that
I
the
just saw it
D's
scroll by in
D's
the
were definitely
chat.
very have the unreliable aspect on them.
Yes.
That is true.
Right.
except for my D, right? Except for the
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, except for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So
but I thought they were
It's
limited
like
in
2
some of,
megapixels, and she's like, "Woo!"
I thought
so
they were limited in like some of the advancement stuff. Like, they don't have all of the fancy ties in to the Great Zero and some of maybe
Right.
the as fancy communication
so
Yes.
stuff going on, but the
Yeah.
basic functionality like
Mhm.
texting calls and pictures were there.
So I guess I would try to comprise a D-mail back to Tellin with the picture and everything, like with the appropriate amount of brown nosing to not make it look like we're totally incompetent, but at the same time still get across the, hopefully you understand where this was a mistake. That was not our fault. So I don't, like, could I do rapport for that? Or
Let's give it a try. Yeah. This will be at difficulty 5.
oh, good thing I got a
Oh.
+3.
Boy,
Oh dear.
Well, I got a 4.
aspects. What aspects do
That's
you
what
have?
that's what I'm
Spend them fate points.
aha. Oh, I've got that neurotically cautious when it comes to, like, performing these evaluations and everything. Could his, like, because very clearly he's been neurotic about everything this entire time, like going down the details. We're always going back to the book. Very clearly, like, there is a procedure for reporting this, right? There's got to be something in here that's just like, this is how you report this. This is how you make it not look like your fault and pass the buck to somebody else in the Guild of Maintainers.
Well, I mean, there is
We
some
need a
sort of
proper government email.
mission anomaly report procedures.
Yes, one of those. Let's do one of those.
Okay, so that'll take you a fate point
Perfect.
to invoke your neurotic. Okay.
Yes.
Okie doke. So you send the message off?
Yes. And then he just sits there just like, and he hopes that he's not fired.
Okay.
When you're feeling better,
you
we're
do
gonna
notice
need
that,
another
there's
linking book.
a new message has arrived for you.
Oh,
Oh,
That
crap.
fast. Nice.
Okay, he opens it.
And it says, "Where are you?" It's from Tellin.
Office.
Office.
Another one
And
comes
then
back.
the great zero coordinates.
Yeah. Another one comes back. Do not move. in all caps, or the D equivalent of all caps.
Oh,
He holds
Sweep
perfectly
up all
still.
this black dirt. Hide the
He holds.
maintainer.
He holds perfectly still. Like
I'm totally gonna sweep up.
yeah. Honestly,
Maybe we should hide the other age books. He might try to take them from us.
I
just sent him a picture of the other age books.
He took a picture of the crate.
Okay, I think Toma definitely wants to hide the books because she is very personally driven to explore each and every one of them. Like she is
So-
searching for something,
so-
and she doesn't want them to be taken from
I'm-
her at any cost.
But I
Like,
thought
this
the
is
whole-
her
Leave
whole
one
thing.
in the box and keep the other 4.
let's leave the book for the one that we just explored in the box, and then
Yeah.
take the other ones and
Yeah.
hide the other ones.
Let's do that.
So, what is Mashavin's opinion of this plan?
So
Like we just sent an email like with the.
Mishavin believes that at this point, the chips will fall where they're going to fall.
You were so zen.
And he pretty much and decides that he's going to go tinker in his corner
With what?
with one of the crystals.
Okay. So
Okay.
he decides to hand him both the cleaned crystal
Mhm.
and one of the ones with impurities, because he's an engineer. He's actually more likely to be able to do something
Yeah.
with them than she is.
Yep. So Mishavin's gonna be playing with like resonances and
Ding.
yeah, exactly.
Move the
And-
slider.
All of
Probably
that
adjusting
fun
the
stuff
frequency.
in the corner while everyone's panicking.
Mishavin's like the anti-Landris.
He is very happy to be back in familiar surroundings.
That's fair.
Okie doke. So are there other things that you guys that you're going to be doing? I'm making the assumption that you will be staying in the places that staying in at your office. If I'm
Yes.
mistaken, please let me know.
Okay, I want to potentially challenge that assumption. I'm all for not breaking the party up and sticking around, like that is totally fine. But given my fear of being like identified and given my don't tell me what to do aspect, I do think that Tome has a strong reaction to whatever you do, don't leave. I think there's a decent chance that she wants to go kind of climb onto the roof and have a look out and see what's going on without being stuck in the basement. But I'm
Oh.
totally fine with not doing that. I feel like that would be a sort of self-compel, but I'm totally fine with sticking with the party too.
At least you're not running back into the linking book. So
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Honestly, I love it.
What is Tome going to do? Where is she going to go?
So this is the basement of the Guild of Maintainers building, right?
No, this is This is the office, which is this is the old building that
Yeah.
what
Right.
used to like have to do something with the plumbing, and
Right, right, right.
and
In the
things
Dingy
near
district.
near where the Arcana silo is, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Great. Now I remember that. So I think what she would do would just be to leave the building and like find a lookout spot nearby to kind of get eyes on what's happening without having eyes on her.
Sure.
Cool.
I think she's just suspicious and worried.
And then you can text us if they're showing up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Possibly
With
with a
like
bunch of
armored
friends.
people or something. Looks like they're gonna drag us away.
Okay, Tome, let's have a stealth roll.
Cool. I would love to give you a stealth roll.
This is gonna be a difficulty 3.
So
Let's see. I got a -1 and my stealth is 3, so that is 2. Could I invoke my "don't tell me what to do" aspect here?
I think runaway would probably work too. You do a runaway,
Yeah.
little skulking about.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. I think that's more directly related.
Okie doke. So you want the +2 then?
Yeah, I'll just take the +2.
Okie doke. Yeah, you find a good little spot that gives you a good view of the front area, and you're pretty sure that I mean, if someone came looking for you, they'd probably find you, but it's people don't tend to like look up all that much.
It is true.
Okie doke. Um, any other preparations from the people in the building?
I should
We were
not give
talking
up
about-
anything. Well, I mean,
So
my
Landra's
character has an
hiding.
aspect that says my lips are sealed. So, like, she fully intends to just like sullenly stand in the corner.
Yeah, so Landris 100% would be like these crates that we originally got that are now very obviously missing the locks on them. He's gonna like push them into like the center of the floor so they're very out in the open and easy to find when telling comes, because that is the one word reply is not the reply of somebody who is probably going to be very forgiving about a screw up like this.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's going to go back because we the linking books back were in these crates too, right? Or did we already have those? It was blank books that we okay. So he's gonna take like all the linking books back and like throw them in there.
That's-
like
That's
just-
reasonable, actually. Put the
Mhm.
put the quarantine linking books in there.
Yeah. And then you guys are only leaving him with the Unai book, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna put that one in there. He's gonna try and remember enough about the Unai book to try and make a linking book there. So
Oh,
if
really?
they need to go back, they can.
Hmm.
You would have
But
to be.
he doesn't.
You're gonna have to actually finish it up. You have to be at the in the age at the location you want to link to.
Right, but he's trying to remember enough so that
You
crap.
can do it
Well,
quickly,
no, 'cause-
That you can start it.
Oh. Well, no, because now he's having a terrible idea, and I don't want to do it. But
What's the idea?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear it.
because he's having this terrible idea of they're gonna take this book, and we're not done. And that was like that's the first place we need to finish that. And so he's really thinking about just like scribbling it out, getting everything ready for that last line, and then running through with a linking book back to the office and slapping down because you got to be in the dang age, and if they take it, they can't make one. And then finishing the stupid book and linking back to the office again.
Except you don't
before
have a
they
linking
get
book to the
here.
office. You'd have to write a
Right,
linking
I
book
had to
to the
write one of
office
those
first.
too, and I don't think we have enough time. Like
Oh,
that's the
no.
issue.
If
Yeah.
you're willing to spend a fate point, you would have enough time.
Oh God. Okay.
They regenerate.
I understand that.
Fate
Well, so okay,
points.
because effectively I have to write 2 linking books here, one to
Yeah.
Unai and one to the office, and I got to do it. Okay, so would we do 1 fate point per book or 1 fate point for the action as a whole?
One fate point for the action as a whole to be able to pull it off in an amazing amount of time.
Okay, he's heck, yep, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. And like
Yes.
you guys, like you have never seen Landros write so fast. He's just like, oh crap. Like,
I'm
like-
suitably impressed. I
Like,
didn't
he's
think
just-
he'd want to go back.
he is-
That's great.
he is so neurotic because this was their first job. Even if it
Yeah.
wasn't Tellin and it was somebody else in the Guild of Maintainers who did it, the job needs to get done. Right.
Yeah, they
And
should have been gag books, man.
right. Well, and 100% also like he still has a slight in the back of his brain that they already know about the other ones. And this is all just some kind of a test, right? Because everything's a test.
Okay, let's work out some
And-
details here.
Yes. So
You're not going to have enough time to get from the original Lincoln spot to your alcove, to your.
that's fine. We know where the alcove is. We can go back there later.
Okay, so it'll link to pretty much the original
Yep.
place. And when you link back to the office, what are you doing with the book? I mean, what are you doing about the book that you will leave behind?
We had a destruction kit before we destroyed it with fire. But Celia's got an answer for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna bet we talked about chemical reagents for testing. I'm gonna bet that at least one of them destroys paper and linking books. I'm willing to spend a fate point to make that true.
Okay.
Okay, it's true. Here goes the
So
fate point.
So you send me something to
Leah
jump on the
gives
book.
Lander something, yeah, and it's basically like,
Okay.
so the way it works is you put the book down on the floor, she mimics it. You
Yep.
unstopper the vial, and you put your hand on and pour, because the idea is that the chemical is going
Okay.
to spill out all
So
over it.
okay, so I've got a concept here. So we're gonna do that. The linking book back to the office. Can I have it go upstairs so that
That's
if he's like walking in the door as I'm linking in, I'm not linking directly in front of Tellen. I'm linking in upstairs
Sure.
and could totally pull the like. I've been here the whole time.
You were in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So yes.
Okay,
Perfect.
so you'll be doing that.
Yes. So and then I'm going to use that. Yeah. So I'm going to use her chemical compound to destroy this book that I would normally be leaving behind. But then we've got the linking book back to Unai at our original linking point.
I think I have a new
And-
life goal, and it's going to be building.
God,
book
Toma, you are the
destructo kits
sketchiest
like
person
this.
that I know, and you're not here to take this book from me.
That's sketchy.
Is there somewhere when I get back that I can hide this in his just like he sucks at this kind of way?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Stick
upstairs
it
there's
under
all
the
kinds.
pillow
I mean,
of
there's
one of the medical
beds
cots.
and
That's fair. Okay.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
lots of
under a
places you can
pillow
just
it
tuck
goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, under a pillow it goes.
Yeah.
Do we have a bathroom in here? Just link into the fucking bathroom and flush the toilet.
Sure,
Yeah,
yes,
the
okay.
Blinking book in the medicine.
Yes.
Oh, dear. So
Okay,
our
so
office thing
you're
goes
doing
back to
that.
the bathroom. Yep.
Your Laundress is
Oh,
doing
not
that.
the book. I didn't mean
Um,
flush the book down the toilet.
The last three who were there, Kenneth, Mashava, you're just kind of tinkering.
Mm-hmm.
So Celia and Kenneth, what are any last minute things that you're going to do?
Probably try to clean our suits. Like we cleaned ourselves, but we got to get rid of the rest of the evidence.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'll take a bit. Yeah, find a good place for it. Yeah.
we're just cleaning everything up, and that way, if he walks in, if we finished cleaning all of the black dust
Polish,
off
polish,
everything,
polish.
yeah, then it just looks like we're cleaning the workspace. Yeah, you know what?
Maintaining our
I think it's
equipment.
step one is cleaning all the stuff, and if there's time after that, then Celia is going to be ostentatiously. You know how she'd put together the kit to take there
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to do the inspection. She's going to be ostentatiously as though, yes, I am putting this kit together
Sure.
for the first time.
So, Toma,
I hope we all have
catch
to see. I'm
you
just
see
gonna say this.
you see
That's fine.
Tellen come around the corner with a guild person in tow, and he is not he's not walking like a happy person. He just
Has
kind of
someone
like
let him in? Or oh, dear.
and he's headed towards the place.
Oh dear.
Can I tell
they
whether the person with Tellen is Adri? Is that it?
No, it's not Adri. Adri is this the person the person is wearing maintainer's robes. Jacket.
Okay.
Adri was a messenger.
Right.
At least it's not the secret police.
Yep.
That is a plus.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you
I'll,
know?
I mean, it is the maintainers. It could be the secret.
How do you know it's not the secret police? Wouldn't they be disguised as the maintainers?
Mm.
That'd be great, secret police, but they all wear the certain color, like the sneaky cop cars, right? And everyone knows that they're ghost cars. It's like, oh yeah, that guy. Over there,
Did you say you were
So-
gonna? You were gonna send a message, right?
yes, I'm going to message everyone else just to let them know the only person coming is Tellen and this one other lackey from the Guild of Messengers. Lackey from the Guild of Maintainers.
So while you're doing doing the writing, Aunt Laundress, and you'll get a message saying Tellen's coming.
Where am
What
I at this
stage the
point?
process
You're
is
still in the
she?
middle of writing that. You're about done writing the linking book, but you're setting up the destruction, stuff.
Okay.
So it's gonna
So
take it's gonna take another minute or two for you to finish your plan.
Ooh, we got to stall. Oh dear.
So obviously, I have no choice but to finish the plan. So I've got
Yeah.
to set up the
I
book
mean,
to
you
destroy.
could, link through and not destroy the book.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Uh,
He's already irritated enough that we abandoned a fire marble in this age for somebody to find. He's not gonna just like let a book.
Oh yeah, there were
sit.
two.
Yeah.
We
I
recovered
thought
one of
Distribution of dunny technology, in an irregular fashion or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm sure there's a rule,
Okay.
right? So
Oh, there's
he's
totally a
gonna
rule.
destroy. He's gonna destroy the book. So
Mishavan sends a message back saying, "I'll stall."
okay.
Good man.
Excellent.
He is linking upstairs. If he comes out like half doing his maintainer's robes, there might be enough plausibility there of just he is trying to look official and he is just terrible at his job and he's going to
So-
get fired and it's okay.
When Tellen arrives and bangs on the door, Mishavan would like to make a big show of rattling and unlocking and all of that with the security system,
Yes.
stalling for like a minute there.
Well, right, because we set up the security system
Yes.
after Talon had first shown up to visit us, right? We
Mhm.
didn't have the security system there originally.
Right.
So clearly, sorry, we've been busy installing the security system.
So the bang on the door, the loud boom, 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 because Talon pounds on those doors. And then you go up there, it's like,
Yep.
open the door, open the smudging door.
Hold on. Rattle, 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 rattle. Gotta unlock this. Rattle, rattle, rattle. And gotta make sure to do this in the right order. Rattle, rattle, rattle.
What
We
what are you
still-
doing? Just open the door. It doesn't take much to open a door.
Do you
You
ever
might be
try
surprised.
playing Myst?
Hold on. Rattle, rattle, rattle.
Were you dropped on your head as a child? Open the door.
Uh-oh.
keep
And
doing it.
At the insult, Mishavan goes bang with something really loud on the door, and then opens it.
So yeah, Talon is just glowering. He's just like, and just kind of pushes his way in. Just kind of even like shoulder checks you a little bit on his way in.
Whoa.
Like,
Wow.
what is going on? Where? Who? There was a book here that. What's going on?
Mishavan
Celia.
slams the door really loud right behind him.
Where's Laundress?
Yo.
Bathroom.
Yeah. To cover up the sound of the link.
He goes to the obviously placed crates.
Yes.
Yes.
At in the middle of the thing, and it's like looks at. Where did you get these crates?
They were delivered to the office.
Mhm.
Delivered by who?
A messenger.
Probably.
That's not very useful. Who sent these to you? I didn't send these to you.
They had Guild of Maintainer seals on them. Seemed
We,
fair.
we assumed that they were from you because a Guild of Messengers messenger arrived with a delivery and said, delivery for your office, and provided us with the books.
Who else would?
A messenger was carrying all these crates by themselves?
Had a
don't know.
pallet.
Where are the locks?
We repurposed them.
Into the security system.
Mishavan gestures at the door. All of the security paraphernalia on it.
So, not only do you have unauthorized Guild of Maintainers materials, you're taking them apart?
We wanted to do the responsible thing of making sure all the materials were secure and our office was secure. Made sense. We were, provided with pages and ink and
And
no
we-
way to keep them secure. So
We wanted to
repurposed the
make
I
sure
locks
they
didn't
were
to make
send
sure.
pages of ink.
Oh, well,
I didn't
Maybe you
send
should've.
anything until this morning, and there was no one here, and the messenger could not open the door, and came back to me and said you were not here. Why?
it's like, so I
Were
guess
you-
you were late.
Were you just sent here to make my life harder?
No, sir.
Who did I?
We were here already.
What sin did I commit that Yahuwah has stricken me with you people? Where's Londres?
Where
He
am
was
I?
just getting
Have I
cleaned
linked
up.
in? Have I
Almost.
linked in yet? Oh god.
So what happens essentially is he telling heads for the stairs. You link in.
Long.
And
It's the toilet.
you come you step and like head over to the thing, and just about as he's going to come up the stairs, you come down the stairs.
Yes. Maintainer's robes like rapidly.
There you
And
are.
this pops to Good Master Tellin. It's like,
There you are. Now, what is going on here?
All of us
in
in the back.
regards to what exactly, Guildmaster?
You have an unauthorized book. You
It was
have-
delivered through very official channels via the Guild of Messengers with the appropriate sigildry upon the crates themselves, with no indication otherwise. You had initially specified that our books would be delivered yesterday before the close of the evening. And so,
I didn't send them this morning. I had more important things to do.
however,
Watch it
Guild Master, you had initially specified, and so when a Guild of Messengers appointee arrives with a pallet full of supplies, the only logical steps to take would be to assume that this is in fact the delivery that you had spoken of, especially after we had already been summoned by yet another Guild Master on the same day, who also was very adamant that
Who
our
else did you
first
talk to?
We're all staring
Well-
at him.
That was right.
Guildmaster Devlin had summoned us, and he had
wish us
also
luck.
inferred.
To wish us luck. Celine
Yes.
steps in. He
So
said that he was looking forward to hearing our progress reports from
So-
the inspection.
a messenger came and brought these to you.
Correct.
What messenger? I want to talk to them.
I don't
Is
think
the
we ever got.
track of like random.
Was it actually Audrey?
Wait,
They
I
were
was-
there
I
when
was-
you arrived.
Yeah.
I know they were there when I arrived, so I'm just making up that.
Oh
like,
no, I'm telling Lunders.
Oh yeah.
Telling Thomas.
It's like, we know. It's like
Okay.
pay attention
now,
to things like that.
Adri is the messenger who took you to see Devlin.
Right. He is not the messenger who brought. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to tell. I did not get his name or their name, as I was very busy making sure that, per standard inventory acceptance procedures, everything was categorized and distributed and recycled as per standard operating procedure to ensure the safety and security of Guild of Maintainers equipment.
So Londres should make a deceive roll.
Is it a deceive rule?
But he
Am I
did all
actually
that.
lying? I 100% did.
And
Like
he-
I said,
and he
like
did
I
get your name.
100%.
Yeah.
I 100% sat down with these books like page by page. We
And set
made
up your
sure everything-
table and
Okay,
yeah.
I'll give you a rapport then, because you're trying to misdirect him.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. Good. I've got a rapport. I do not
This is a
have
3.
deceive.
This is a 3, by the way. So
Well, that's good. I've
We are-
got a +3. So
We are such a good bullshit
Ace
team.
it. Come
I got
on.
a 4. I got a 4. Ah.
he kind of looks
Hooray.
at you and looks at you and is like, I don't think you're bright enough to I don't think you're bright enough to actually make anything up.
Does he
I'm
say
going
that
to go
out
fight.
loud, or is he just thinking it?
Oh, he says it out loud to him.
Of course not, Guildmaster. You know this is my only opportunity to maintain my position in the guild, and I will not do anything to jeopardize that.
Yes,
Maintain your
yes, yes,
position
yes.
in the
So,
maintainers. Celia says
We're,
very
I'm gonna
quietly.
go. I need to go find this messenger.
You should.
He goes over, grabs the Unai book, and says, "I'll be taking this. None of you go anywhere I can't find you.
So
No
don't go home.
ages. No wandering off into inaccessible parts of the cavern. I will be back. You stay here until tomorrow. And I will be here first thing in the morning, and we're going to get the rest of this figured out."
Let's see if something
skill
better to
busted.
do. Typical government.
I love how
Hey, look.
Talon,
He looks at his flunky and is just like, "We're leaving now," and just out.
I love how Talon doesn't even take Toma seriously enough to notice that she's gone.
That's what I was just like. I'm just sitting here like, oh crap, when's he
By
gonna
the way-
notice? Because
Did you
Toma-
lose your intern? We're like, no.
Tome, make a notice roll at 4.
Good. Ooh, I got a really good roll, which comes out to just 4, exactly 4.
Okay. You see, Talon stomp out, Flunky following behind him.
And
And-
Sabin slams the door really loud behind him.
So when he's running out, and when the door slams, you actually see movement in one of the shadows, from one of the corners, and you kind of see, you see some movement in one of the shadows, and you track what looks like someone moves to follow Talon. You can't tell anything else about it, but you can just see like, and then kind of melts in the shadows again.
Well, that's mysterious.
Mhm.
Okie doke. So, are you gonna stay out there? Are you gonna hang out, or you're gonna do something specific there, Tama?
I think I'm just going to stay.
Chase them.
I know Toma has a way of running off on her own, but I don't. I think I want to bring this information back to the group,
Sure.
probably.
Okay.
And we should let her know that Landris is awesome and made a linking back to Unai so that we're not stuck here. So we can still finish what we were going to do. 'Cause
Okay,
I think
so,
that'd make her
Tome
really
can
happy
come in
because
and you
she
guys
seemed
can
excited about
discuss,
hiding the other
the
books.
situation.
Is there any way I could snap a photo of this shadowy figure?
Unfortunately, it moved too quick.
Oh. All right.
If I know, I don't know. Like, Kenny probably could chase them down, but to what end?
Yeah.
Because if she gets spotted by
I mean, I
Oh.
don't.
by
I
the
don't know.
guild master, like, how is she gonna
Well, it sounds
explain
like-
that? It's
it sounds
"You
like
stay
Tomei had
right here,"
decided-
and then she like runs after him. Probably.
It
not
sounds like
great.
Tomei had decided to come in and inform everybody what's going on.
Good.
So,
I
Tomei,
think so, yeah.
slips back in through the back door or however she managed to get outside without going through the front door. She used to live here, so
Our great security system. And Thomas like,
used
oh
to,
yeah.
does she not?
I'll
Did
just
she
go out
move
my
out?
back
Did she
door."
find
And we're
another
like,
place?
"Back door?"
well, she lived here before you guys got there, so
Now she occasionally lives in caves on Unai.
so she knows a back door, a sneaky way of getting in.
Awesome.
Okay, so
Very good.
there you are. What are you doing?
Discussing that what just happened. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey everyone, thanks for handling that.
Surprised Kenneth didn't lose her cool. He didn't insult her directly, and I think that's the only
So,
thing that saved that.
so Landris is very pointedly going to turn to Toma because again, she's the seediest person he knows.
Oh
She's
my
just
god.
like, you have lived here for a while. Are there any hidden nooks or crannies in the floor? If you were going to hide something you wanted nobody to ever find ever, do you have a spot in this office you would do it?
I think the answer is bound to be yes, but maybe there's a mechanic for this for me to create that.
This one I'd
aspect,
say
no?
would be a pretty easy one.
Okay.
So
He's gonna
you definitely
tell
know
you
several places actually.
Yeah, for
He's
sure.
going to tell you where the new Unai linking book is, so that he doesn't have to know. Because if Talon asks him, he's going to crumple like paper.
Oh, yeah. So give it to her and have her hide it.
Yeah,
I will move it to a secure
yeah, he's
location.
gonna tell you where the Unai book is, so you can take it to this hiding spot and never let Landris know where it is unless it's time to use it. So
That's gonna make Tomac pretty happy. Lose that book, right?
Yes, yeah, this is definitely a service she will provide.
Sounds good. Okay, so she hides it in a place well, Landris is pointedly not paying attention.
yes,
In downstairs, and she,
he's gonna stand in another corner, like as far away as possible, staring at the brick.
Can
Probably-
it be like pat
probably
him on the back
Tomei
and tell
goes
him he did a
upstairs. So,
sorry?
and spends a while there. What is Mashavin doing?
Mashavin is busy reassembling his security system on the back of the door. And muttering to himself about intelligence and
who was dropped on their head? That stinking
yes,
piece
exactly,
of...
yes.
So Leah's joining in trashing Talon because it's fun.
And then after that's done, he wants to sit down and discuss what we're going to do next.
Yeah. By the way, the back door is actually a sort of a roof entrance sort of thing.
Okay.
So it's not an obvious,
Okay.
just like, oh, we forgot there was a door behind it. It's
Oh,
not
good.
an obvious sort of thing.
Good to know.
So go ahead.
Yeah. What are we gonna do?
So
First up-
Landris, thank you for being able to put together those linking books, because that was absolutely brilliant work.
Mm-hmm.
But what if another member of the council, like that was their job for us, and that was our first job? We're supposed to succeed. We had to give him something, but we still have to finish the job. Could you imagine if like we get called into the council? It's just like, why didn't you finish the exploration of Unai? And we're gonna have to be like, because Guildmaster intelligence. Well, that wouldn't stop a real person.
No, I think the answer would be because the Guildmaster is being a dick and we can't be expected to stop him because we're just peons. But you're right.
Good job, Landris. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I just don't want to fail. Like it's just to keep everybody safe. Everybody's got to stay alive. We've got to get our job done. Like we've got to do good. We want this whole thing, and he just sort of gestures to the office to succeed. It's all on us. We've got to look good. It's for the good of Dunny, for the great tree, for the great zero.
Wow.
I didn't give him anything else. Like, that's all.
Eat another cookie?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to have cookies next session, aren't
So what has Kenneth been doing?
I? Can it? Like she literally would have gone over while Landers was staring at the wall and like pat him on the back and been like, good job. Really still really unimpressed with Talon. Like she can't believe that he's treating like she thinks she's important. And obviously like Mashavin's important, and like Landers isn't the worst maintainer ever, so she's like really unimpressed with how he's treating this team, and clearly he wants them to fail, so like she's pretty PO'd about the whole Talon thing. But yeah, she didn't join in for some reason. I don't know why she didn't join in the trashing, but she's also super not happy with having to stay here until tomorrow morning, because he's always on time. Never. That means that if he actually does come tomorrow morning, they have the rest of the day to go back to Unai. And they just have to be back.
Man.
So
By the time he
Toma
gets
comes back from her mission of hiding something. She comes down the stairs.
I just had a great idea, but we'll have to chat about it later.
Okay, so
Leah
what are
turns
you guys
to
doing?
Kenneth and asks if we can have like a big cup of tea or something, because
Oh.
if we're going to be sitting down and like discussing what we're going to do about this whole crap, it
Yeah,
feels like
you're right. We need tea.
Mhm.
it
Yeah,
feels
I'll
like we
put out a
might
cup of
want
tea and
So-
I'll make a quick
tea or
honey cake.
food. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Actually,
Because it feels like
so
there's a couple places we could go from here. Oh, but if
well,
you want
so Toma, did you tell us about the shadow person?
Yeah, I was just going to get around to divulging that piece of information and sort of I kind of want to pose the question to the group, like, should we inform Talon that like
Well,
he has a tail, that like he is being followed? Like
Hmm.
or what if this is somebody that's trying to sabotage us as well? Like, how do we know that's
Like, what
the
if they
only
knife him to
shadow
steal the
person?
book?
Well, like, how do we know that's the only shadow? How do we know there's not one somewhere hiding
Oh, dear.
around our building? You know.
oh, there is, it's me.
Yeah. There is. It's me.
But Landris is suddenly a little bit concerned about the security of the building as a whole, knowing that there can be people just like hiding around. And
Yeah.
so he's, oh God.
Well, if we can get more exciting things, I can secure
So-
every single entrance to this building.
Well, so Landris has a question for Mishavan.
Hmm.
Clearly the D's work across ages. So they have some sort of cross-age compatibility for
That's true.
standard messaging.
yeah, they resonate back to the Great Zero.
They are
somehow.
able to capture images, which means there is some mode of viewfinder on them.
Yeah.
And Landris is not phrasing this near as well as I am because he doesn't understand engineering. So he is far less articulate. But what he's trying to say, get across is there a way that you could set up a D in the office that we
Ooh,
could
security camera.
monitor from another D so that if somebody is knocking or pounding on the door, we could see it.
I like it.
Perhaps
do
with
like
a
it as
crystal
well.
viewer.
I mean, given how they seem to work, I don't know that there's a streaming feature.
Maybe a
Um,
tripwire.
Landris is
You
going to
would
break
take
the
a shot
law.
and send it.
I mean,
I mean,
you might be able to rig something up that took a still shot on a regular basis.
Yeah.
that I could do, yeah.
Think of like the highway cams.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A clock and a little lever to push a button and
Yeah.
send it to me.
And
So,
then
yep, I can do that.
and that's something we could observe from a completely separate age.
Which shall remain unnamed.
Well, because oh God, Landris is having a thought, and he's
It
really
could be any age
So-
as far as the D is
well.
concerned.
See, on that, I still have an empty aspect, and oh God, I'm thinking with the feat that Landris just did, the like quickly scrambling to do the linking book and everything else, he wouldn't be good at it. But he's starting to think that maybe now the office isn't the best place. And we have some linking books to other ages. Now, so are they linking books or are they descriptive books?
They're linking books.
They're just linking books.
Mhm.
They have enough of the Garahev T to kind of pull some phrases from.
Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking of writing, in terms of writing more linking books, you would still once again have to be in the place that you want to link to.
No, that's not what he's thinking.
Okay.
He's going full on like break the law, and he's like I'm struggling with it as a player, trying to figure out just like, is this actually what he would be thinking about doing? And him as a character is struggling with it because it's illegal. But he's 100% like contemplating how tricky is it for to get a little bit metagamey. Could he get it up a little bit here? Like, could he possibly look at these 5 and start copying phrases as they're doing some more of these journeys to make a descriptive book to their own age that nobody but them has access to?
Unless you were to fill your aspect with
terrifying.
it that you have been learning the
Right.
art.
That's like
Um,
that's what.
and that would
Sorry. Go
become
ahead.
that would be that's something that you would have to work. I mean, you can have the aspect of learning the art, but being able to do that would take a while from where you are.
Right. That's why I was thinking like fledgling writer or something like that. You
Yeah.
know, like
But
as the first step. Like clearly we're not doing this today.
Yeah.
You know, clearly it's going to be a very, very long time, but
we also established that Tome has Guild of Archivists parents, and you were talking about stealing books at one point.
yeah, I know.
Like maybe you have a family age that you just don't go to anymore. You know, we have a better cottage.
Just
And
Is
you can
that
the only descriptive book, and then we can make linking books out of that.
Like that's that's an option too.
just link to Thomas family age because
Mhm.
screw it, who's using it?
Kind of,
That'd
yeah.
be hilarious.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh my god.
Oh, we use our second summer
Well,
home now.
what does Tome think about that idea?
Can I just have a quick refresher on what parts of my background I have shared with the group? I know we kind of negotiated
yeah.
that a little
Oh,
bit
you're
at the
right.
start of last session. I don't know who I wasn't. I'm not sure that the whole group does know that I have.
I would say
that.
I definitely don't know that
No,
Toma is
we
like
don't know. I was just
Yeah, I
thinking
think we're
like
out of
maybe
character
this could
talk.
be
Yeah,
a
we
different
were
character.
What if Tome
be introduced.
disappeared for a couple hours and then came back with a descriptive book and said, "Don't ask," and we're just like, okay, we're not asking.
It's just an idea. It could be something
Yeah.
that comes
But,
up,
you know,
and it might
remember
help
that, you know,
Landris with his.
This is your character, so you can decide which direction you want to go.
yeah.
I mean, it's a cool direction. I'm willing to run with it. But if you don't feel it's something that your character would do, then we don't do it.
I mean, I certainly have an aspect that would allow me to do that. I think it would come with a bit of a personal cost. It would mean going back to. It would mean being in proximity to my family and to a neighborhood that I've been avoiding. I think my inclination is that like Tome is actually pretty comfortable in our current base, and like not only has she been there for a while, but she knows the lay of the land. She knows the building itself very well. So I don't know if she would propose this herself, but
Fair.
I think
That's
she
good.
could be talked into it if the group decided we really need an age as our base. And if that's the group decision, I think that she could help out, but she's pretty happy to stay here.
Maybe it's something that'll just come up later. Like if
Yeah, that
Yeah.
feels like a
things
better.
continue to destabilize, then
Long.
maybe
Yeah, I
more
mean,
and
so-
more people will get concerned. This is Landris that is now concerned. Landris
tonight?
gets upset about buttons.
Also, I guess
Yes.
So, you know, we might
Tome-
not put too much stock, like our characters might not
Right.
put too much stock into thinking that this place isn't secure. And I'm like, yeah, well, we got doors, locks on it now. It's fine. You know, the shady characters weren't
Yeah.
following us.
I mean, Mishavin can definitely still, do work on the whole,
Mhm.
security camera thing.
I think it'd be good
Yep.
to know when the guild masters are going to show up.
And Bashavin also is starting to like this place. He has his part set up, and
Right.
this is
I got my
in
stuff
Denis
here,
itself.
stuff there.
Exactly.
And
yeah. This is
I'm
in
not even
Denis,
sure-
It's familiar. I think he
My
likes
tools
this
over
place.
here.
Starting to grow on him,
Cool.
so to speak.
He's got the pegboard with the little marker outlines of all the tools.
There you go.
Right.
Not quite that far, but he has the pegboard and a mental map of where everything goes.
Yes.
Yeah. And
So
I'm not
it might
even
be
sure.
that it might be that Laundress is thinking about this, and you can think about and you, Thomas, can think about it over between the next couple sessions to see
Right,
if that's
yeah,
the direction you
it's-
want to go.
Yeah, it's definitely something like I'm not even sure he would have actually said anything because, like, 100%, if he says it out loud, then he's vocalizing the fact that he is having thoughts about breaking the law, which that's a very big, like, kind of a thing.
That's a pretty big
So-
jump for his character. Yeah.
Right. I'm not even sure he would actually even say this out loud, but it is definitely something that's coming across his mind right now because more than anything, like, they've got to keep things safe. And if shadowy people are lurking about, how long before one of them figures out how to get in? You
Yep.
know,
Aw, do you
I'll
not
have-
trust me?
you can't lock every window. Like
I
Toma
beg
can
to
easily
differ.
Toma can get onto the roof somehow. You know, I don't know that, but like there is clearly some method of egress into this,
So can I interrupt for a sec?
Mhm.
We're definitely a little going into the weeds about
Mhm.
what we're going to do,
Yes.
and I just want to focus for a sec on what we're discussing in character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not that I'm objecting, but in character, are we talking about whether or not this is going to be defensible long term? Because I don't think, like, is that a discussion we're having, or are we discussing
So-
like, I think we should first discuss, are we going to do what he says and stay
Yeah.
here in Unai, and stay here in the office? Are we going to go back to Unai overnight and then show up to do a little more looking around and then show up for the meeting? Do we want to contact Master Devlin and see if he knows what's going on? Because I really think we should do that.
I think it's important to figure out where those books came from because
Master
we want to
Devlin
know if
might
it's someone who's for us or against us.
That's a good
Okay.
point.
So,
Right.
what do you plan to do?
Well, if everyone else is okay with her doing it, so Leah is going.
Yeah, she should.
Did he?
Yeah.
How did he give us an ability to contact him? Refresh me. Did he give us his D number or just?
I mean, he's a relatively well-known public person. Finding a way to contact him is probably wouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah. So
He may not actually have a key.
a personal, but he
Yeah.
might have, his assistant.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's gonna send a message just saying, basically, just hi, this is your maintainer surveyor team. We met with you yesterday. Had a couple quick questions about a delivery if you have a moment to talk.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
That seems like a good message.
It'll be a
That
little
doesn't
bit before you get
seem
a response.
Yeah.
Any other things you want to do while you're waiting for a response?
So while
or do we want to fast
waiting,
forward?
maybe we could talk about the other parts if we wanted
Like
to.
whether we should stay here until
And
we
be-
need more,
And
or
be
if we
good, or
should
do we want to go back
try to
to Unai?
finish up Unai, right? Or as if we could finish up, right?
I think we should try to go
Right.
back to Unai before tomorrow, because after tomorrow morning, we may have a new task. We may have a new mission that we're expected to be busy with and show
Mm.
evidence of bringing back samples from and all of that. So this might be our best chance to squeeze in Unai if we
I
feel
agree.
safe doing it.
I said Landers is probably just still trying to explain his whole crystal viewer idea to Mashavan
Landers,
over there.
Landers is like, oh, and it's like Mashavan's like, yes, I
Yep.
understand.
Yep.
Already thought of 10 ways to make it better.
So there-
Which
Okay.
Landers has no delusions about anything inventing. He's just like, is this? He's like the idea guy in this particular situation. Can you do this so that if we have somebody knocking on our door again, we don't
We
get
can do
angry
that.
D-mail?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can work on that.
Mhm.
Okay, so it sounds like you're planning a trip to return to Unai. So let's move to that then. Are you guys gonna
Okay.
do that? Just kind of grab your stuff and run. Are you gonna grab other things?
We need another book written though,
Yeah, we're gonna have
office, because
pick
now
up-
we've destroyed 2 and you only had 5 to begin with. So we're down to 3
Yep.
Blank
books. 3
books.
blank books.
No, we had more blank books. We had 5 to the quarantine
Oh,
zone.
okay. I thought
We had
only
a whole
3.
stock of blank books.
Okay,
We
good.
only had 5 linking books back to the quarantine area.
No, we
and
had 4,
5 originally.
didn't we?
Okay.
There were
4, yeah, because Toma
there
was
was-
stressed.
There was 1 for each age. Did we not have 5 ages?
yeah, 5 ages.
Oh,
So
but
there
I
were
could-
5. Yeah, there was a
Okay.
quarantine book for
Oh.
each age.
Gotcha.
The quarantine
Okay.
book for each age. So there's some blank books and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
we
I mean,
had
if you keep burning books, you're gonna start running out of some.
Yeah.
yes. But we had a stock, so maybe all right,
we should
Land just
take-
goes back to Mashaman.
Yes.
We can't keep burning books. Is there something we could make that's easy to hide in an age? Kind of like a locked cabinet that we could bury under the ground or something that'll keep our books safe and not able to be found by people.
How about a box that looks like a rock?
You kind of,
You're sitting next to the door that everyone's grandparents
it's like the hide a key, except it's a hide a link.
Exactly. Yes.
There are lots
love
of
it.
places to hide. I mean, there are lots of like crags and shafts and small bits. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff there.
Are we talking about in just for Unai or for other places? Because in Unai we had options.
Right. And see, that's like kind of what Landris is thinking is like, okay, we can't keep burning them.
Mhm.
What's something that any environment, whether it's a forest that's
Well,
lost
you may not want
hopes,
to worry too much about the omni applicability of it.
Just
You
worry
could
about
probably
for
figure out
now.
something when you get there that
Okay.
Yeah.
especially now that you've got the idea in Mashavan's
It's
head.
something that we'll notice so that we pick the right rock. So we're not like,
Right.
where's the office rock?
Yeah.
It's so many
Fair
rocks.
enough.
We're
Yeah.
so screwed.
Fair enough. So Landris will
I'm thinking we
assume
probably
that.
want to get into the age of exploring again. So
Yep.
Yeah. So Landris will go and assume that people need him to write another book back to the office again.
Yes.
And we'll go do that. He's
Mhm.
probably getting kind of quicker at the office one at this
Mhm.
point because
Oh, good.
this is his third one.
That's
So
that's a thought. I don't know if somewhere we're tracking like long-term objectives. I feel like we should downtime projects.
That
there
comes
is
up eventually.
there's the concept at a significant milestone of a project roll,
Yeah.
which is essentially I've been working on something and I'm going to see if I'm finished. It's sort of a way you can kind of like retroactively go, yeah, I've been working on that for a while.
Okay.
Huh.
So that
Because
way, if you think of something like right then, like, oh yeah, this would be useful, like, so if you want to write down things that you'd want to,
Okay.
you might want to do a project roll for, that's cool, but you're not committed.
okay, I'm
Mhm.
just thinking that it looks like how Landris is doing this is pretty standardized based on the maintainer stuff.
Mhm.
And he's getting better at it.
Mhm.
And that probably means that he can show one of us how to do it. So from the same kit. So Celia would like to at some point learn to do this because it would help if we had someone besides Landris
Mhm.
who is able to at least copy backup books back to the office.
That would probably, I mean, the fact that he's doing it is based off of his
His
The
trade.
resource.
stunt.
Yeah.
The
So
resource, yeah.
you would have to spend
So
a
that's why I'm
stunt on
like,
that,
would
which
that how do we set that up as a long-term project kind of thing
just
too?
keep it in the back of your mind, and
Okay.
we'll see what we can figure out when we get to a significant milestone.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably we won't hit a significant milestone until you guys are done, finishing an age. You're
Okay.
you're finished exploring an age.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So-
just thinking about it as the long term. It seems
Yeah.
like in case something happens to Landris, we might want someone else to be able to make books back to the office so we're not just turning him into a book copying machine every time we're at the office. He has to write 10 kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Tellen's gonna break my hand as soon as he finds out about Unai. So
So eventually being able to have someone else
Yep.
learn how to do that just kind of
Oh.
seems like a thing.
Cool.
Okay.
So
So
keep that
heading
in mind.
back.
So the trip back to Unai.
Hmm.
Anything special, or just headed in? Last chance to come up with, to figure out what you're going to bring with you. That might be special.
I think a better light source or more of like something that'll cast light a little further. Either it's like some reflectors or something, so that we can kind of.
Some
Yeah,
of
there's
you have
probably,
things that you
really
can use,
cool
fire
stunts you
marble
can
hand
use to get
lamps,
special
right?
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
was gonna use my stunt to bring the tool to declare a personal aspect,
Mhm.
and I definitely want some sort of enhanced light implement.
Sure. Is that stunt? What's the limit? Is that stunt? What's the limit? What's the exact text of that stunt? I don't remember off the top of my head.
Before leaving on a mission, can declare a personal aspect for the duration of the mission.
Okay.
And it's titled Home Lab, so it's leaning
Works
toward
for me.
tools.
Okay. So you've
So-
got some components to for you know better lighting,
Mhm.
things that you could so you could set it up somewhere and leave it there, if you
Okay.
want to, so you don't have to carry it around, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
that
some
sounds good.
extra tent material. It would make it so that we could obscure the entrance to where we're living, and then we can have fires in the evening
There you go.
without tipping everybody off.
That sounds
I
good.
think that's important.
So Landris would also mention that the linking book he made to Unai only goes to the place they first arrived in the canyon and
Yeah.
not where they camped out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's fine.
that's okay. Because maybe we
good.
can go explore someplace else first too. Like you never know. So
Okay.
New
So
and
it
Yeah.
sounds like the plan is link into Unai. You're gonna go back. You're gonna go back to your where you had the camp before.
and drop off the stuff that we
Drop off
brought.
stuff,
maybe?
and
Mhm.
it sounds like Kenneth's gonna do a little bit of crafting to kind of make it
Yeah.
more of a more long-term location.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the while she's doing that? What are the things that you guys gonna be doing?
So Leah really wants to go back to the area that Toma discovered.
Mhm.
Because she, I mean, that's the kind of area that's exactly her area of
Sure.
interest. It's the perfect place to survey. She's got questions. She wants
Okay.
to know about it.
So we'll do a quick sort of fast forward. You guys get set up.
Mhm.
Kenneth gets stuff set up. You've had food. You've checked everything. You made sure you got your linking books with you and everything, and you head on in. How does that sound?
Yep.
Yeah.
Back, and then we'll
Okay.
back to that same chamber.
Yep. So
Oh,
and
good.
this is
Hey,
the
you're
first
gonna
time
get to.
that Laundress has seen it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what
Oh
am
yeah,
I
I
looking
forgot.
at? Okay, so what am I like? Is this clearly a death trap that we need to like set a rope to climb down into?
No.
Like, are we just okay?
No,
Like,
it's not. It's not a dress trap. Like I said, it's sort of a chamber that looks like it's at one point was being mined, but then was repurposed. There are there are lots. It's got that whole weird little small natural shafts that
Mhm.
seems to be everywhere. Places where it looks like there were crystals that people have removed them, and then there's a door in a tunnel that leads into the darkness.
Mashavin went and like kind of peeked, but he couldn't see anything
so
much
okay,
farther. He wants to go down that tunnel though.
There's
I
black
do.
dust all over.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot
Yeah,
of that black
so-
dust.
okay, so clearly this age is inhabited. Like
Mhm.
that's 100%. It wasn't just possibly somebody exploring the age before us earlier. Now,
Yeah.
like no,
Yeah.
clearly there has been people here for some
Right.
amount of time to actually do some type of excavation.
Mhm.
Yep.
Is there any kind of like iconography? Like, is there like
Not in
are
this
there
room.
any? Okay,
So
Great backdrop.
yeah. Okay. So, by the way, yeah, I want to. A lot of this backdrop reminds me of the top of one of the ravines.
Absolutely.
So,
Like that's
so
awesome.
good choice.
Good
Sorry.
selection.
Aside there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are you going to be setting up your lights to do something? To go down the.
I would like to have it in a portable form
Sure.
for traveling down the tunnel.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
And
That's
Bishavin is now curious because someone else did mining. He wants to see if they did cool stuff with mining and how we can make it better.
Sure.
Ah.
Okay. So you're going to shine that light down that tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, still lots of dust. There's that layer of black dust on the ground. It goes down a bit. It turns. Um, are you gonna continue? Are you guys gonna go follow it?
I would like to.
Celia wants to do more looking around this main chamber first. So
Okay. Well, do it. Do it. Let's do a roll. What skill are you using?
surveying.
Oh, hey.
Although I never got to ask that question. I had the questions
do
I had
have
from
one on.
earlier because we kind of had the whole going back and
That's true.
panic.
I'll let you use that one still, since it's
I
still
was gonna
not much
ask
has
if I get
changed.
to carry them over.
In fact, Mashavin still has. You still
Yep.
have one or two.
I have a question and a hint.
Oh yes.
Okay. So the question I was gonna oh my gosh, I definitely just forgot it. I'm sorry. Inhabited chamber, or looks like it has been dug out, had the crystals. If I clamber up and feel around in the area where the crystals were, are there any shards or remnants? Or what I'm trying to look for is like, does it look like they were pried out, did you say? Or does it look like they dissolved out?
They were definitely dug out, mined out.
Okay.
Dug out, that sort of thing. Yes.
Okay. Does it look, and it looks like it was done with tools, not with.
It was done with tools, but relatively what you would consider relatively modern tools. Not
Okay.
just like chisel and stuff like that. It looks like
Okay.
somebody it looks like the sort of thing that you've seen in mining operations from the Guild of Miners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the impression I was definitely trying to get.
Yeah.
Was
It's definitely
is
not
this some more
crude
primitive
mining
people just
techniques.
hacking them out, or
Yeah.
Okay.
So, did you want to use your question or hint, Michelle? Or
not yet.
okay.
I'm expecting the next place will
So
probably.
you want to go see it down the tunnel? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can
my
follow
marching
you
order.
fire
Just
after I'm
kidding.
done looking.
is my fire marble still here?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay.
take it with me this time.
Okay. So, this actually seems to be there's tunnel leads to another set of tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That kind of go off, and it's obviously you're coming. Like if there was a mine and then people would do the mine and then there would be little things that kind of come off.
Yeah.
You are going the opposite direction from from one of the ends of the mine towards the more main the main tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
So there's there is some equipment that's just basic
Mhm.
sort of Denis mining equipment.
It's Denis mining equipment.
Yes. There's been evidence of people reinforcing the tunnels, that sort of thing. Still lots and lots of the dust. Um, and you get to kind of the main tunnel, um, which is pretty big. Like you guys could
Mhm.
probably stand shoulder to shoulder across the tunnel.
That's big.
And it goes a bit further, and then ramps upward, and there is a set of large stone doors that are open, and there's rubble.
Hmm.
In
Ah.
there is rubble in the doors.
Okay.
Are there any markings on the doors that we can see?
Um,
Kind
the
of like
doors have
mines.
the doors have definitely not had the doors have had better days.
Okay.
They look damaged.
Is there any like visible engraving as like what I'm thinking of?
Mm-mm.
Did they have patterns, designs,
No, there's nothing decorative.
letters? Okay.
Right.
So Denny mining equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Crystals that are like the crystals they use for the Great Zero.
zero, but
Like
more
maybe
pure.
this isn't an age that really needs much more describing. Maybe the Guild of Miners has been here for years.
Can I use my hint?
Yes.
Um,
Is there a particular place you want direction you want the hint, or should you just want me to give you the hint? Give you a good hint.
I guess just a hint. I can't think of what I want exactly.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted me to direct it anywhere or not. Is it
No,
just what's going on, or what's really the best next thing to do?
More of what's going on, I think.
Okay, obviously this is some sort of mining operation done by Denis people in the last couple years that is unofficial.
Right.
There's
Okay.
nothing here to indicate, like there's no inscriptions, there's no, none of the things that you would think to see in an official mining operation. This has been done, under the table, as it were.
Ooh.
And it's probably been going on for a couple years.
I'm
And
so
they're
glad
mining
you
the
stuck your
crystals.
head in that shaft.
They're mining the crystals. But it looks like what they want is the stuff that's in the inclusions in the crystals, not the crystals themselves.
Oh, okay.
I'll also give you one little more hint. Think Riven.
Oh, okay.
So they're mining it, but they're like dissolving.
Or at least
out.
what you should do next. Think Riven.
Yeah.
Where in Riven do people always get caught?
Yep.
They don't shut the doors.
Yeah.
Bingo.
We shut the doors.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, you can see that there's actually behind one of the doors is
Shut the doors.
yeah. You kind of it's hard because they've been kind of knocked off, but there's another chamber off on to the right that's behind the
Okay.
right door.
Okay.
Let's go in.
Since we're still on the hint thing, I'll give you one more thing, one more easy detail.
All right.
The door that's behind the right door has been blown off. You know, sort of, you know, like,
Mhm.
and it looks like it was made to be hard to find.
Oh, okay. This
So
is
there's a hidden
specific-
chamber here.
a
Okay,
doubly
now I'm done with
hidden-
giving hints.
Okay. So there was a hidden door that was hidden behind a big door.
Yes.
Very secret.
Yeah.
Hush, hush. Okay. So leave no stone unturned is one of Mashavan's aspects. So he is doubly hidden doors are definitely fall under that.
Yeah.
So he's overturning the stone.
Okay. Yeah, there's a there is a small chamber. I mean, a small room. You know, probably just just enough for 2 or 3 of you to crowd into.
Oh wow.
And there's a shelf in there. Which includes some, you know, some, there's some tools in there. There is what looks like an imager, like a small imager, about yay big. It's been damaged, somewhat, and it has next to it a device that has the outline of a hand, like a handprint that's connected to the imager.
like a spiral handprint where a finger might light up if you touched it.
Sort of like it's sort of like you put your hand. It's almost you could just fit your hand right on top of it.
Right. No, I was talking about the Uru like spiral hand
no.
thing, like the journey cloth.
No, not journey cloth. No, it's like someone had had put their hand on there and painted an outline.
Do you think you can get that imager up and running, Mashavan? Like we could find out what was going on here, maybe, or at least who.
I can
blackmail.
try.
Landris just points at it. It's like that, but at the office.
Okay, so yeah,
I mean,
give me
does
an
it look
engineering
like
roll,
we could pick it up and take it with us?
Yeah,
and not
we should steal it.
Because if we can take it, that's safer than trying to work on it here. It's
That's
not like
true.
connected to any kind of power, right?
No, it's not connected to any type of power. So yeah, you think you could get it out of there without damaging it?
Then definitely want to do that.
Okay, let's do that. That makes sense. Let's see what else we can dig up.
Okay.
And you said what else was there? There was tools in the imager and device, but are there any papers, any documents that we can see?
No, there are no documents. There are you actually find some containers that are full of that black dust. Like someone's intentionally taken the black dust and like
they want the dust.
Yeah.
You know what?
Weird.
I had taken a crystal with the inclusions. I had taken the crystal we had purified from the inclusions, but I'm going to stare at Landris while I'm doing this. Gloves. Sample container. Very clearly put some in the sample container and screw it closed. Tuck it in my bag. No words, just very clearly doing proper.
That's okay.
The hyper exaggerated.
It is probably at this point that you realize what Landris realized a few minutes ago, that he never took the maintainer robes he very hurriedly put on for Guildmaster Tellin off. And so his really nice maintainer robes are covered in all of this filth from being down here. And he's seeing
Yeah,
he
but
is
now that's a
seeing the
contaminated sample because there's fabric in it.
right,
You can't
right.
study
No.
it that way.
No, he is seeing more murder rocks that have been
Oh.
clearly exploded. He's seeing
We know that these are murder rocks. You keep calling this part murder rocks without knowing that.
Maybe
and
they've
then
been
he sees
framed.
all the black powder in jars. And then he looks down at the black powder on himself. And he's just like, oh crap.
Don't worry, it only fizzes a little bit. It's not a big deal.
And then he's trying to remember because he can't remember because he was a little drugged up. If actually anything bad happened to y'all while you had the black powder on you. So,
No, it just smelled funny
Yeah, just
so far.
We'll find
see,
out.
he doesn't know because he was just I don't remember much about that other than they came through
Mhm.
Okay,
and
what you
instantly
guys
went to
doing
shower.
next? What you doing next?
Go ahead, Celia.
Okay. I have a stunt I want to use.
Sure.
I want to use specialized tools,
Mhm.
access to fine surveyor's tools. We had discussed at one point, one of the options I probably can have is one of those really neat portable sounders.
Mhm. Yeah.
The ones that let me look for, like, say, additional hidden shafts or additional hidden doors.
Okay.
So Celia wants to take that, and we found this one, but I'm gonna go around the rest of this big room, with the doors, scanning to see if, is it pinging back, oh, there's solid rock here, or is it going to thump and tell me there's a hollow here?
Does that cost a fate point to power, or is it just one session?
It's if I have a tool that you don't think I normally would have on my back, I have to spend the fate point to have the tool.
Okay, so you spend the fate point for that?
Yep.
Okay, that leaves you with 1.
But that's a cool tool, and honestly, given how many shafts, I feel like that would have been a really smart tool for me to bring.
Yeah.
It does seem that way. Yeah.
There's caves and drop shafts. We absolutely want this.
Okay,
Mhm.
so you have the tool.
And I am looking for, I'm going to use it to see if, like I said, if any of the walls kind of echo back that there's
There is
chambers and caves.
a behind the shelf, which
Mhm.
is kind of like built into the wall. There is a space behind it that is hollow.
Oh,
Hey, there's a hollow space behind the shelf we should figure out how to get into.
Double secret rooms.
I'm gonna say I have it. Is it intrusion? I think that's what I have for that.
You could use intrusion to try to figure out how to get in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I could try, but
If you fail, I will also try. I have a decent intrusion skill.
yeah, you
So
have a good
go for it,
intrusion.
Landris.
I'll say because mine's a +3. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah,
It's
it's gonna
better
be
than
this is
mine.
a tricky one, so it's a difficulty of 5.
Maybe before you roll, do we need other people to declare that they're helping before the roll to add the pluses or after?
Like,
Do
I
you
wa-
want people can kind of essentially make quick aspects to help? What would people be doing to help, and and let's start from there. Okay, who's helping?
Well, we can only fit, you said, like 3 of us in the room, right?
Yeah, and maybe with the special
So-
equipment, maybe only 2.
Yeah, so Kennet's not going to be in there because
Okay.
she's not going to fit.
Okay.
I mean,
So-
are you gonna you can take the special equipment out, or unless
Yeah.
you're gonna use it for something.
Because
Yeah,
now that you
Celia is
know,
willing to step back and out with it because she has pointed out the spot is here.
Mhm.
Okay.
mhm,
Go look for the spot.
Send in.
Toma, do you want to help out since you also have a
Intrusion.
yeah.
Yeah, I would be interested in helping. I was originally just thinking I would make another skill check if Landris failed, but I'm happy to help out.
Sure.
I
Go ahead and make an intrusion check at a 4 for Toma.
Okay. That is +2 added to my intrusion skill, which is +2, so it's 4.
Okie doke. So you do make a aspect. Well, actually, you make a boost, which is an aspect that can be used once
Hmm.
and then
Okay.
goes away. So just so it's just a quick +2, which you can pass to somebody. But then you'd have to, if you want anything else, you'd have to roll again. Okay. So Laundress, you got that plus. You got that.
So I have a base of a +3, so with her +2, we would just get in. But I will roll to make sure I don't get any negatives. That is a +1.
Oh hey, yeah,
So 4 with her +2, that's a +6.
out of 5. So yeah, it takes a little bit. There's a little bit of hammer, knocking on it to see if there's different sounds, checking for latches, but eventually you get it to it slides back and kind of goes. And there is a book in there.
Ooh.
Oh gosh,
Does it
dang
look
it.
like it goes?
Is the book marked? Does it have any writing on the cover? Is this fine?
It has no writing on the cover, no.
Where's the book go? What'd you find? What'd you find? And it's not going to be very painful.
Landers is having like a crisis of faith right now in like the Guild of Maintainers because well, okay, so clearly somebody brought us this with the Guild of Maintainers. Like clearly somebody there knew this was going on. How come nobody has reported it? Like what? Who?
While Landris is having his crisis, Tobey is going to open the book and see if there's a linking panel.
It is in fact a linking book.
Okay.
It shows a what looks like a it's a settlement of some sort in a sort of hilly area. Some of the hills kind of go much higher and have big cave mouths in them. And since leaking books show you real time things, it's night there. And there you can see from some of the hills in the distance, there are orange glows like fire, and in between there, there's a settlement, and it looks like about it's relatively early. It's not like Denis or anything like that. It's just like some sort of shacks made of wood and that sort of thing like that.
Why would they want to link there from the super secret office? Unless they're like storing
Unless
this stuff there or like experimenting with it there.
Unless they're bringing like a workforce from there.
Oh, that would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
That would
Now,
be very
does this
dunny.
look?
That
does
would be
this
very
look
dunny thing to do.
Does it look descriptive book size or linking book
This is linking book
size?
size.
Okay.
We should take the book, right?
I think Tobey will take the book if that is all right.
It would, yes.
You're like the keeper of the books now. Like you've hidden them. We have no idea where they are. You just like
And-
ferret out with the book, and we all link through it.
So we were at 4.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we've been here for 3 hours. Now we can go a little bit longer if you like, or we could move towards some wrap up stuff, whichever you prefer.
This does seem like a good breaking point, to be honest.
It does.
Okay.
As much as I'd like to go for another 2 hours, it does seem like a good breaking
Because I want to
point.
know where this is going. Like,
I
Yeah, I
wanna
really
know-
want to know where this book is. Are
I
you
wanna
sure
know
we're
what the
probably
message
gonna
on
get
the
2
messenger
weeks?
Do you guys want to take the things you've got and move back to your lab?
That's because Landris has some thoughts
Okay.
that
And I
he'd
know
like to voice
you've got
at
the
some
imager
point.
thing
But
that we could probably
we've
do
got the
that real
imager.
quick.
We got to clean up again because all our stuff is all gross, and we don't want to tip off the guildmaster in case he actually does show up early.
I'm beginning to wonder. Yeah. Oh, I want to check my D, by the way, just before.
we've got another message from Tell It. I'm back.
No.
Where are you
Or
guys?
did the other guy call us back?
No, nothing yet.
Okay.
So should we head back then to the
Yeah.
cavern?
I'd like to take the device with the hand on it as well.
Sure.
Because night's gonna fall soon too, and then we'll have even less light to work with.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back you're going
And
all
we
the way
probably
back, and
should
you're doing the thing where you hide the book. Are you hiding
the
it?
book,
Where are
we
you hiding
hide,
it? Just like you're hiding it like somewhere in like the mines, somewhere near your your
Yeah,
camp
campsite
there.
maybe.
With this particular, the book that we used to get back.
Yeah.
Or
To
okay.
ours. Yeah.
Mhm.
I got an idea.
What is it?
You know all those spots with the we talked about how in our cave there's the crystals,
Mm-hmm.
and in the cave that Tome found, there were the jaggy spots where crystals were taken out.
Mhm.
I wonder if using the tools we've got on hand, we can pry a couple of the crystals out and like tuck the book under them
In the mine or in your camp?
in our camp.
Yes.
You should be able to.
But yeah, we're basically just trying to bury it.
You could kind of do a thing where you
Yeah.
could kind of like get the crystals up,
Mhm.
the crystals, and you can kind of slide them up, and you put your
Yeah.
hand in, and the crystals will kind of rest on your wrist, and you push
And
your
that
hand
way,
on,
when
and
we
it
link
goes,
out,
and
it
it'll
just
slide
kind
down.
of flops back on top of the book.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Basically, I was thinking of building it
Yeah.
because that way somebody's just gonna look and
Yep. I like that.
One of those crystals. Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, so you guys set that up, no problems. Works fine. You link back in, you clean up,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be working on that imager thing, right?
Definitely trying to fix it.
Okay, give me a roll at 3, engineering.
All right. Engineering. All right.
It's
So
not gonna be hard to fix it.
Let's not suck. That's a -1. Thankfully, my engineering is 4, so I got a 3.
Okay. You can get it working. We won't be able to display the image. You'll only be able to play sound.
okay.
But you can't get it. You can't get it working.
If I invoke an aspect, could I get it including images to have a better roll?
Yeah. Which aspect you got?
Leave no stone unturned.
Got
I
it.
want to know everything about this, so I spend a fate point to invoke that. I got a
Okie
-1.
doke.
I'm gonna get a +2, I think.
Yeah, and that'd be enough. Okay, yeah, you can get it kind of going. It's still gonna be kind of shaky image, but yeah,
Yeah.
you got it. Okay, so
Yeah. That's what happens.
now the question is, how do you turn it on?
With
Like
the
whose
odd-
hand goes on it?
Yep.
Mm.
So Leah puts a glove on and then puts her hand on it.
No effect.
Can we circumvent its security?
So Leah takes off the glove and puts her hand on it.
Or we.
It goes. It kind of goes. Kind of like lights up a little bit, like a key sort of thing.
Mhm.
But then the light, lights up blue a little bit, and then turns red.
Rude.
Oh.
Well, it's probably not going to work for any of us then, but I guess we should all give it a try.
Hey, Mr. Maintainer,
Yeah.
you try.
Yeah, he'll try his hand on it.
Same effect. Lights up a little bit, and then turns red.
Yeah,
Are y'all
Kyle
gonna
put her
try?
hand on it. Yeah, we're all gonna try.
Okay.
Sure.
There is a different effect for one person. Tome. She puts her hand on it. It goes. It like the blue. It goes, and you hear a click
Mhm.
inside the imager, and then it starts to play.
Huh.
And it's a Denis woman. And there's lots of static. It comes in and out, and it's like, so I'm pretty sure our operation has been compromised. This says that we are going to need to cover our tracks. I will be moving back to Kenlin, where I will deal. Well, I'll talk to our workforce there. It's probably behind this. We're gonna have to clear all of them out. The keys are still hidden. Watch your backs. Or Denis went there.
I think watch your backs in Denis would be something like lock your books.
Yeah.
Probably. Sorry, what did it sound like? Moves to Kenlin to talk to the workforce there? And what was the other age mentioned? What did
Kenelin
it
was the
sound
only
like?
age mentioned.
Okay.
Kenelin.
Kenelin.
Keni Lin I yeah. Kenilin.
Okay. So this is definitely the age that was behind the hidden shelf thing.
Sounds like
Right.
it.
Like it's gotta be.
Seems to be.
Move the workforce from there.
That must
Yeah.
be the encampment that we
You
saw.
called it, Thomas. You called it.
Yeah.
Oh,
When-
Landris has so many feelings right now.
And it does sound like a good place to stop.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
When you
Oh,
said keys, could
Landris
we
has
tell
so
whether
much to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
and why
man.
did it work for you? Did we just like
Because
four
she is
tries
one
and
of-
it was like done and it just like worked on the
No,
fifth?
she's totally actually from wherever they got their slave workforce from.
Or she has an unregistered D.
That too,
Yeah,
maybe.
she has an unregistered D, or she's actually related to the Dunny that owns the
That
imager,
too.
right? Because it was set up for their
Yeah.
hand.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions, the
It could be the
possibilities.
D. That would be.
have
That's
to
gonna be
turn in
really
your
exciting for
parents.
Tome. Like get the possibilities, and then if it turned out to be a D, that would be disappointing. But
Man.
Okie doke. Any last things before we start wrapping up?
No, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Landris has a lot to think about.
Mhm.
Good.
We all have a lot to think about.
when the imager said the keys are still hidden, could we tell whether it was KEY or like
Okay.
That was the Denis word for a key that opens a lock.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Very exciting.
They're clearly hidden under the first pile of murder rocks. We have to go back.
Oh my
Right.
god.
That was my thought too.
really,
Why are you all obsessed with the murder rock?
I'll have to go look at that avalanche again.
well,
The
I
murder-
always
the
thought-
murder
I always
rocks-
thought it was a cave-in. That would have been
Yeah,
my
I-
very first thing when I walked. I was like, oh, there's been a cave-in.
Hmm.
It was either that or like the people that have like pterodactyls and were dropping bombs. But like,
You never know.
And he said it was an
Cave-ins are
explosion. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Shavin
They
thought it
sealed
was
the
some sort of
shaft.
explosion. So yeah.
Yep.
Okie doke. So the
Alright.
next session is
I hope
going
they
to
didn't
be
leave people down there.
next session is going to be a month from now, which is April 3rd.
Mhm.
yeah.
And we'll come
Right
out
in the middle
together
of
then.
Easter. Okay.
Yes, that'd be the Saturday before Easter.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are we gonna have problems with that? If so, we'll discuss it
offline.
My internet will just be a little dodgier, but it'll be fine.
Okay.
We'll discuss it offline, and if there are adjustments we have to make, we'll make sure everybody knows.
Cool.
Mhm.
We'll make it well known.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for playing. Once again, congratulations, Thomas.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you know,
He's
and
adorable. So
you're gonna name him Atris, right?
yeah, no.
Or at least middle name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, he is a suffix just like I am. So he is the fifth, whereas I am the fourth.
Oh wow,
So,
Ooh.
that's quite a
Wow.
line.
yeah.
That's a line.
I've
Very
never
Oh,
had
yes.
anybody longer than the third, actually. I didn't realize you were the fourth, so that's
That's-
brilliant.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's awesome.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
so-
And just once again, thank you everybody for playing. Remember to support us on Patreon, listen to the podcast, buy lots of stuff from Cyan. And we will see you in a month. Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure.